Long way, get this shit a long way, shit a long way. Long way, hit the long way, 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 shit, long way, 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 shit a long way. Gotta get the shit a long way. Gotta get the shit a long way. Finish rich, yeah. Gotta get the shit a long way. Gotta know she don't really understand, man. Gotta know she don't really understand, man. Gotta get a meal, she don't understand. She be tripping every day, she be tripping every way. But I gotta get this shit a long way. Gotta get this shit a long way. Tryna get money every single way. Tryna get money every single day, yeah. Get money every single way, every day. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. I'm feeling like we be the new slaves. No, we gotta finish rich. No, we gotta finish rich. Got a new bitch, she don't understand rich. She don't understand, she just gotta get rich. She don't understand, sometimes we gotta hit lit. No, we ain't hit lit. Tryna get the long way, yeah. Tryna get the shit the long way, yeah. Cause you tryna wrap up a entree. Yeah, told you the other day that did my palm strong. We gon' shoot the long way, we gon' get the long way, yeah. Yeah, get the shit the long way. My bitch be trippin' back and forth like the palm way. My name is Tori, I ain't playing games, just another Tori. Yesterday she told me that she about to leave, said fuck it, bitch, we gonna get some money. Said fuck it, bitch, I'm about to get some money. So what I do today, I want to get some money, yeah. Cause we gon' get the shit the long way, long way, we gon' get the long way, yeah. Back and forth like the palm way, yeah. And I'ma get the shit the long way, get the shit the long way. Just the only way today, because they go with shit's crazy. We gotta wear a mask, we the new slaves, and we be wearing this shit like every day. We be okay, we gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, they gon' be okay for me, yeah. So we gon' get the shit the long way, 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 yeah, yeah, we get the shit the long way, yeah, cause we gon' be okay, we gon' be okay, yeah, we gon' get the long way, yeah.
Oh, hello. Remove. Make sure I'm talking. Stop cam, test. Whoop. No, I don't want to do that. Stop cam. Test. All right, cool. All right, hello, Aaron, Mingoism. What's up, El Marshall? What's going on? 1 second. All right. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Appreciate you stopping by. My name is LJ Young, and I am a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them mathematically see outside what I call the debt matrix. And the debt matrix is a place where debt slaves live. Now, there's two kinds of debt slaves: unconscious debt slaves and conscious debt slaves. Unconscious debt slaves cannot see negative numbers psychologically. They can't see them. So let me give you an example. If you believe you're a homeowner with a 30-year mortgage, open up your calculator, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance, hit equal. And as you're looking at your calculator with your own eyes, looking at the negative number, and I'm gonna tell you, just listen to the sound of my voice. The reason why you believe you're a homeowner is because you cannot see negative numbers psychologally. You can obviously see them physically because you're looking at the calculator now. So and if you still believe you're a homeowner after that, after what I've just told you, you are what's called an unconscious debt slave, right? Now, conscious debt slaves were once unconscious. They decided to believe the calculator, and then they noticed that they were way under zero. Now they know the only way out of debt, you got to work, pay off your debt, and then you're out, and then you're free. Pretty much it. That was me up to age 40. I was what you call the high valued man, 6-figure earner, college educated, great career, all that stupid nonsense, right? I reached this so-called pinnacle, which only resides in the debt matrix. For some reason, 6 figures means a lot in the debt matrix. I'm not sure why that is, but I was that person too. Got out of debt and realized, oh, that's not really nothing. I don't own myself, so the salary doesn't matter. I was that until I realized that I didn't own anything, because everything I was making payments on, that means it wasn't mine. The very action of making payments means the exact reason, tells you that you didn't have the money to buy the stuff. That's why you're making hence payments, right? And I didn't realize that until I got out of debt, found Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey basically said, take the arithmetic that we all learned in elementary school, apply it to your finances using these baby steps. And that's what I did. I freed myself. And I was like, oh, damn, it only has to do with math. And I said, then what does religion have to do with it? Nothing. All right, so I stripped that out. Even Mr. Ramsey's baby step 4, where you get down to your mortgage, after you pay off all your debt till you get down to your mortgage, and then start putting 15% away for retirement. But again, if you open up your calculator, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance, hit equal, you don't have 15% to put away anything anywhere, right? But that's what I do to help people, right? Now, I didn't realize I was a debt slave until I got out of debt, which is the craziest thing, because I was just like everybody else, thinking that debt was just part of life. Everybody has debt. Everybody has car payments. Everybody finances the brand new phone every single year. I thought the same thing, right? Until I woke up, found, like I said, now I'm out of debt matrix. And I know better to finance things that go down in value at a percentage rate. Okay. That was me for years, right? And so once I did all that, stripped all that nonsense out, then I became, that's when pretty much S&D was born, right? Now, when you exit the debt matrix, you see the economy in a whole different way. It's totally different. You don't look at it like everybody else does, watching the news and listening to your friends, because the majority of people are in debt. Without debt slaves, the economy could not exist, right? If it wasn't for debt slaves financing everything that goes down in value, people that understand money would not have the money they have, because they could not. We work together, right? But the majority must be slaves, okay? Or else none of this will work. Anyway, once you understand this and really understand that no currency at all exists for debt slaves, nothing exists for debt slaves, but they don't know that. Anyway, so the unemployment ended this past, Monday, something like that, over the Labor Day weekend, unemployment. Now, the majority of people out there are wondering why there were so many jobs available. It's like everywhere you go, jobs are available. Nobody's working. Well, when you're outside the debt matrix, you know why? Because debt slaves they're getting unemployment. That's why there's so many jobs available. It's not really rocket science, right? It's not. But now that they have cut off that unemployment, all those available jobs are going to be taken up, because again, debt slaves have no money. So this is what it really is, so you guys can understand the bigger picture. There's a new economy now. Okay. It started in 2020. All right. In order to start the new economy, they got to shut down the old one first. Okay. Because it's almost like rebooting a computer. It's got to stop. And then they got to redo it, reconstructure, whatever they're doing. Just like you know how they close a building to remodel it. Nobody can come in until we remodel. Same thing, right? They'll shut it down, redo the economy, and then they got to start it back up. So first thing they had to do is stop it, which happened in 2020, right? And then they got to get all the debt slaves out of it, give you guys unemployment money, get you guys all out, redo it. Now it's time to put you debt slaves back in there. Stop the unemployment money, which makes you guys automatically go back in there. But now you guys got to learn a whole new skill, because everything's different now. And it's going to be like that for probably the next 80 years. None of this is a shocker to me. None of it. It does none of it shocks me. It only just amazes me to watch it happen. It's like when you watch the news, they're like, oh my God, what are all these American people going to do? What do you mean? You didn't know that date was coming? Hold up. You didn't know unemployment was going to end over the Labor Day weekend. You didn't know that. It comes to a lot of people as a shocker. What do you mean? They told you the money was going to stop Labor Day. They told you that. I think probably earlier this year, last year, who knows the date. If I was still in the debt matrix, I would understand this. I would say, oh, the money stopped, so I better prepare myself by what? Getting a job. Now, I understand some of you guys have never probably made more money you probably made more money in unemployment than you did at your regular job, and then you got used to it. You got used to that freedom, getting all this money and not having to go to work. That's true freedom, right? Yeah, you got to earn that. Nobody's going to give that to you. So some of you just don't want to go back to work. Some of you have realized what true freedom feels like. That's the difference. Some of you guys are struggling for two different reasons, but the majority you have to go back to work. Why? Because you're in debt. You have student loan debt. You got to get to work. You got car payments. You got to get to work. You got the brand new phone every single year. You got to get to work. What's up, Greek surgeon, retired? What's up, Antoine? Share again. None of this is a shocker to me. Now, on top of that, student loan payments are due in January of 2022. Christmas ain't even here yet. Oh yeah, something else is going to happen because Christmas is coming. They're not going to miss out on that money. Because if they don't get some money into you guys' hands, you guys ain't going to have no money to spend over the holidays. Something's got to come in there. Some money's got to come from somewhere. I will not be shocked if some more money came from somewhere. I would not be shocked because what are you guys going to do? Stimulate the economy with it. How many of you guys taking that money that they're giving you and paying towards your student loan debt? None. Probably nobody. Probably maybe 1%. I'm not going to say nobody. 1% maybe. Still begging to get student loan forgiveness. They're never going to forgive that. So stop thinking that, debt slaves. That will never happen ever. And long as we are alive together watching this on YouTube. You need to stop begging. That's never going to happen. Now you got to enter yourself into the new economy. What kind of economy? Delivery jobs if you got debt. You're going to be delivering something, driving people, Amazon factories, who knows, one of those. Good luck. Or you could wake up like the very few and say, hey, wait a minute. While I was out of work, I've experienced something that I've never experienced in my life. True freedom. How can I keep this? How can I wake up when I want to wake up, do what I want to do, and still get money coming in? All you got to do is figure it out. There's people out there doing it right now. All you got to do is figure it out too. If you want to keep it, you got to earn that freedom. Step number one, first you must own yourself. The economy of you is going to always match the economy outside of you. So if you don't own yourself, that means out in the outside in the outside economy, those are the people that are going to own you. You're going to be forever begging for student loan forgiveness. You're going to be forever thinking you're saving money when they push the student loan debt payments back. If you are a person that was relieved that the president moved it to January 22, that's a problem. That's a problem. Why are you relieved? What do you really believe you have more money since you don't have to make student loan payments? No, now is the time to pay off your student loans right now, because this right here, student loan debt payments being stopped, interest being stopped, that will never, ever, ever happen again, ever in our lifetime. That will never happen again. And what did it take for student loan payments to get stopped and the interest stopped. A worldwide problem. That's why that will never happen again. You think a worldwide problem is going to happen again? Mm-mm. Not in your lifetime, not in our lifetime. It's not. This right here, that won't happen in our lifetime again. That's why they stopped the student loan, because you guys are not getting back to work. You see how they do it? First, they try to see if you're going to do it see if you're going to do it yourself. Maybe they'll start thinking and say, hey, they know we have an end date coming up. Maybe they'll start getting back out in the workforce and start filling up some of these jobs. You guys are just not doing it. Now they got to cut off the money. Now, I want to make sure everybody's straight on this. Whoever they is, I'm just saying I'm just using, they're not big, bad, and evil. They're not doing anything to anybody. You are doing it to yourself. The people that understand money can see negative numbers psychologically. You guys can't. It doesn't matter if you understand what I'm saying or not. Just understand that it's a fact. That's all you need to know. Wealthy people are not doing anything bad. They're not keeping you down. Taxes are not the reason why you can't get ahead. All of that is a lie. None of that is true. Only people in the debt matrix think that. People in debt, you guys don't know. You can't write off taxes. You can't do that. You're in the negative. You can't. What you gonna write off? Negative? No, you can't. Once you get outside of the debt matrix, you're going to know, don't cheat on your taxes. If you have somebody doing your taxes and they sound like they're making up stuff to write off that doesn't exist, hey, they won't catch you if we keep it under this number, keep it under this right here. This is no. There's anybody you got somebody doing that with your taxes, you got to ask yourself, why are you cheating? If you got somebody cheating on your taxes, that means they're cheating on their own taxes. That means they don't understand the rules. That's why they're cheating. There's no reason to cheat. There's no reason at all. Taxes help you build wealth. First, you must own yourself. But if you are one of the and I want you guys to pay attention, this affects a lot of people. You guys are going to see big change on social media. Now that the unemployment stopped, the majority of people that you're following that look like they got money, they're going to show you that they don't. It's going to they can't help it. They're going to show you that they don't. And they'll just blame it on what's going on. Hey, it was COVID. I lost my job. Whatever. You blame it on whatever you want. It doesn't matter. You're going to see a big change. This is why, here, let me give you another reason. This is why, like gossip channels, why are they so big? Because nobody's working. Everybody uses another thing to escape their own life. Because if you think you're the only one, like say like this, they always tell you on the news, 7.5 billion on unemployment. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people you know. That doesn't look like it. They look like they're having fun, but they're not really having fun. But if you check out their social media, it looks like they're doing better than you. No, that's just what they're showing you inside the camera frame. Gossip shit is like, it's an escape so you can escape your own life temporarily for an hour or two. And then you're looking at this other person, you think that, hey, no, don't. One thing you guys don't understand, for debt slaves, it doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter. You guys, when you guys make more money, you guys just get bigger payments. So say like somebody's making $50,000 a year, they got a $700 a month payment. That same person will make $1 million a year. Guess what they'll do? They'll go get a $5,000 a month payment. It doesn't matter how much money you debt slaves make. You guys just keep repeating the process over and over again. If you want to, like right now, you see the unemployment stop and you are terrified. Okay. First, the fear, false evidence appearing real, is there to scare you. Oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm going to be homeless. Everything that you've seen on TV. What happens to people with no job? They live on the streets. They live in cardboard boxes. You guys all say that. You guys all say the same. You guys say the same shit over and over again, projecting your fears to people that understand money. Hey, what do you mean debt free? Well, if I pay a house in cash, well, I'm gonna be living in a cardboard box. No, that's your fear, debt slave. That's what you believe. It's like you want to say, whenever they say that, when you guys say that, I want to say, have you ever lived in a cardboard box up to this day? No. Then why would you think you would live in a cardboard box if you can become debt free? You guys might as well be living in a cardboard box because you guys own nothing that you're living in. You don't own your house. You don't own your car. You don't own your retirement money. You don't own nothing. You guys don't own anything. And it's your fault. Nobody's doing it to you. The wealthy are not doing anything to you. That's not true. That's not true. The wealthy can see negative numbers psychologically. You guys can't. That's the only difference. That's my gift. I have the ability to see negative numbers psychologically. That's something that millions obviously cannot. That is obvious. Because if you guys could see negative numbers, car loan debt wouldn't exist. Student loan debt wouldn't exist. The housing market would not exist. You think Apple or Samsung would be as big as they are if you guys could afford to pay phones in cash? No. They're big because you guys are financing phones. It doesn't matter if you're Apple or Android. If you guys are both financing a phone, who cares? You guys are two debt slaves financing phones. The same people that were getting unemployment, relaxing, not doing nothing, just going deeper in debt. Not paying student loan payments. You guys thought you had more money. Go get in a house, go get a better car, trying to hurry up before they put the stuff back. That's exactly what they wanted you to do, slave. That's why they pulled your student loan debt off your credit report so you guys can go climbing deeper in debt. And then when you go deeper in debt, they're going to put it back on. Now you're twice as deep in debt. Those be the same people worried about unemployment cutoff. If you are worried about unemployment and you are watching gossip and you're not doing anything about it, and then you're surprised when the date comes, then the money ends, and then all of a sudden now you're on the news talking about you're about to get kicked out. What are you talking about, slave? What are you talking about, debt slave? You didn't know that day was coming? Shout out to Fudman for the $5 super chat. Thank you. IG is full of alleged highlights. You have people showcasing houses and cars they don't own. And you guys don't know. When you guys are watching social media, you guys don't know that. Listen, this is what I do. This is what I do. Sometimes I'll go to these channels that either do finance or they're talking about how many cars they have. The first question I ask, do you have a mortgage? They always say yes. Do you have car payments? They always say yes. They don't own nothing. They're doing these reviews on YouTube. Hey, look, I bought this car at this percentage rate. This is how much gas I'm saving. You got this gas mileage. Did you finance the car? Yeah. Nobody gets to finance car on sale. Nobody. You can't save money on financing a car. That's 100% impossible. You can't do that. You got debt slaves going out by financing a car, a 2022 car in 2021. They're financing them, putting miles on the car before the year of the car. So when 2022 hits and you have 30 or 40,000 miles on your new car, when you look up in Kelley Blue Book, it's going to be like, damn, that car is worthless. Kelley Blue Book don't care if you bought a 2022 in 2021. It doesn't care when you bought it. That's your problem. But you come in 2022 with a car with 30,000 miles already on it. What do you think the value of that car is? Nothing. Nothing. Debt slaves, you guys do that. What's up, Mina? Long time no see. What's the benefit of being debt free during this time? No stress at all. No stress. That's the benefit. No stress at all. Can you imagine? You guys don't even understand the stress level right now. You can't see it on social media. They're not going to show you the stress level on social media. Nobody's going to tell you how they're struggling. They're not going to do that, but it's obvious. All you got to do is Google it. 7.5 million unemployment benefits stop. That's a lot of people that's going to be hurting. But you think they're going to post it on social media that they couldn't make their car payment this month, or they couldn't pay their water bill? They're not going to post that. I mean, it says, I'm so glad I landed this job. Staying in unemployment was tempting, but I knew that would be a bad idea. See, people that understand how it works, they knew to get out here and get these jobs were paying people. Please come work for us. Please come work. We'll give you some bonuses. We'll give you a different package. They just please work for us. All that has changed now. Now that unemployment has ended, now it's an employer's market. Now they have the advantage because you guys have no money. You guys are going to take what you can get now. It's an employer's market. The smart people, they went out and got these jobs when the employers needed them. All these available jobs, they're about to be gone. Good move, Amina. Gabriel says, well, I understand why they look for jobs. Some of it's horrible. Man, all the jobs are going to be available, delivery jobs. Now it is a hard red pill. Now you hear, and let me explain this to you guys so you guys can get it. Now, I know you guys hear the red pill all the time. Red pill this, red pill that. There's only one red pill, and it's right here. This is the only red pill you need to understand if you ever want to own yourself. There's many different. Now, anybody that tells you what the red pill outside of this is, you got to say, what does the red pill mean to you? Anybody you hear talking about a red pill, this is the question you ask, okay? Are you making car payments? Do you have student loan debt? They're talking about the blue pill. They're getting mixed up. Debt slaves can't have the red pill. They're in debt. They're debt slaves. If they're talking about their red pill and they're making car payments, their blue pill, they don't know it. The red pill is owning yourself. You must own yourself before you can own anything outside your house, anything outside yourself. You can't own a house. You can't own a car. You can't own a phone. You can't own a washer and dryer. You can't own fucking shoes. If you're out there buying Yeezys and you got student loan debt, no, Yeezys bought you. You got to think with your logical mind. When you see shoes like that, do you say to yourself, did it really cost that much to make those shoes? No, it didn't. No, it didn't. That's called business. When you see the price of shoes, Jordans, anything, that's called business. It didn't cost that much to make that. I don't care what they are. It didn't cost that much to make that. Those are people that understand, they built up their brand and make you debt slaves believe it costs that much. Who cares what you guys believe? You believe it costs that much, you just believe it costs that much. That's why you're terrified that unemployment stopped. Marshall says, a lot of fake people on social media, but debt free, and you will see who they are. You can see when you get out of debt. I can see debt people. I see dead people everywhere. You guys don't know that people like us can see you. You don't know that. It's by the way you talk. It's by the way you act. You think certain things are normal. You think you're investing with money you don't have, but you don't know you're saying that because you're taking the blue pill. The reason why you're taking the blue pill, because you cannot see negative numbers psychologically. You can't. So if you cannot see negative numbers psychologically, you don't know the proper language to speak whenever talking about money. My tax refund got garnished by a collection company. Bam, look at that. See that? Now, I'm not getting on you, Sherigan, but let me tell you something. In order for something like that to happen, things have to be very, very bad financially for you. Very bad. They have to be bad. If a collection agency can garnish a check, that's a problem. If they are taking the money forcefully from your check, that's a major, major problem. Major problem. Not only this is what people don't really understand that get their checks garnished, right? They don't know what they're telling their employer. They don't know what they're telling their employer when you get your check garnished, because your employer has to process that shit. So now they got to take extra work, set up an extra something in the company to handle garnished checks. Not only does they have to set up something, now they know who you are. Now they know to who abuse. Who's gonna take all these extra hours? Who got their check garnished? Johnny. Oh yeah, he's gonna be begging for some overtime. Sure enough, come begging for overtime. They already know you were gonna be coming for that. But then after a check getting garnished, you drive up in the parking lot with a brand new car. This is the only red pill here. This is the only one. Debt slaves has so many definitions for red pills. They got so many definitions. It reminds me of this. They have so many definitions for asset. There's only one. The asset belongs to the person who owns the property. That's it. There's no other way to have an asset. But debt slaves will call a house with a mortgage an asset. They'll even call a car an asset. All the while financing them all. You got to take care of that, Sherigan. You got to ASAP. ASAP. The debt collection company waiting for it like a shark. Yes, they are. Look at Sherigan. Look at debt collectors as the hound dogs of the people you borrow the money from. They send the hound dogs after their debt slaves that try to borrow their money and don't pay them back. I mean, if you think about it this way. They trusted you with their money, with their product, whatever they trusted you with, right? And then one day you just decide you're just not going to pay it back. Well, you got to think like this. What if you opened a business and you did the same thing they did for you, for your customer, and decided they're not going to pay you back? Does that make any sense? That doesn't make any sense. Here I'm all excited, but nope, that money got took. Tell me this, Sherigan. How did you not know that was going to happen? How did you not know your check was going to be garnished one day? How did you not know that? That's what I'm trying to say. Exactly. Exactly, Gabriel. Exactly. There is no better investment than a paid off house. There is no better. If you're young in your 20s and 30s, forget about 401k, forget about IRAs, forget about all that retirement bullshit. Get out of debt, get a house, get a mortgage. It's okay for you guys in your 20s to get a mortgage, but you only accept the best mortgage in the market. This is what you do, okay? Get out of debt first. Stack some money up. Don't have any debt, okay? And then when you're ready, you walk into the bank and they're going to run your credit, okay? They're going to run your credit. The first thing they're going to notice that you have no debt on your credit report. They're going to know that you know right away, right off the bat. Fuck your credit score. Don't worry about the credit score. You walk in the bank, you have cash in the bank because they're going to know you have no debt and you got real money in the bank. So they're not going to insult you with a subprime mortgage like a FHA or a VA mortgage or a first-time home buyers program. All those mortgages are for debt slaves that don't know they have no money. That's what those mortgages are for. If you have an FHA mortgage, you probably have a student loan that's older than your FHA mortgage. If you have a VA mortgage, you probably have a student loan that's older than your VA mortgage. That's why you have a VA mortgage. That's why you have an FHA mortgage, because you have student debt and you don't know that you can't buy a house at all with student loan debt. There's only one way to buy a house, that's cash. There is no other way. And if you don't know that, and then you also don't know that you cannot buy a house while having student loan debt. So they bring these type of mortgages. If you're young and you understand how this works, they wouldn't insult you with any of those type of mortgages. They would not insult you, because they will already know that you barely even want to be here in this bank, even trying to get a mortgage. They're going to know that you talk to somebody. And then you walk in, I don't care who you're talking to, you walk in and say, hey, by the way, maybe they'll understand it. It counts on, you say, hey, man, I can see negative numbers psychologically. I just want to tell you that. Maybe the person helping you, just because somebody works at the bank, don't mean they understand money. Okay, please don't misunderstand that. It doesn't matter if they have a banking degree, a finance degree, they went to a particular college and majored in business finance. This is the only thing you ask them. You got student loan debt? Yeah, you don't listen to a word they're saying after that. If they have student loans older than their finance business, their tax business, whatever, you make them say, hey, you make them answer the question, why do you have student loans that are older than your business? How? Explain that to me mathematically. Explain that to me. Why do you have a brand new car outside and your student loan debt's 20 years old? Why is your student loan debt older than your brand new car? You ain't got the plates on it yet. Why? LJ, how do they get a chance to do? Oh, I'm sorry, man. I've been talking, so I don't know. You're gonna have to refresh my memory too. And same with you, Sherigan. I'm not sure what you mean. What's up, Alonzo? Now I'm going to put this link in here. If you have some questions, if you are terrified right now that excuse me, unemployment has been cut off. You bid on social media and you're feeling bad because it looked like everybody's doing better than you. All of that is a lie. That's fake. That's none of that is real. Okay, don't believe any of it. Just because you see super chats and all this other stuff, it means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. Okay, nothing. What's up, K Business? My debt was fairly. I don't know, but let me tell you something, Sherigan. Nobody. You probably just didn't owe the IRS money, because nobody gets paid before the IRS. Nobody. Everybody comes after the IRS, because the tax system is the backbone of the whole economy. Nothing can become before that. Nothing. Zeke says, what's up, LJ and SMD fam? The jobs are about to dry. They're about to dry up. This whole week, I bet you millions of people are online filling those jobs. So put it this way. So say like you're an Uber driver, or you're a Lyft driver, or you're a food deliverer. I mean, because everybody, notice this, everybody is delivering now, every place. They have to. If you don't deliver, you're out of business, baby. You out of business. You don't even have to pick up your prescription. You can order your prescriptions online now. You don't even have to go see the pharmacist. You don't even have to go to a pharmacy. You see how big Walmart is? You don't think Walmart's paying attention to that? You better believe that. If you see you see how big Walmart is. They got multiple stores in multiple states. Amazon comes along and says, hey, forget all that. We're going to go global. And guess what else we're going to do? We're going to make everybody deliver. Everybody's going to have to follow suit. You better believe the pharmacies right now are scared shitless Amazon got in the game. Believe that. Believe that. All you pharmacists right now with hundreds of thousands of dollars of student loan debt, you better pay that debt off fast. You better get started. You better move in with mama and daddy. You better sell all your shit, because one day they're going to eliminate those jobs because they're not needed anymore. But you're going to still owe that student loan debt. You're going to still own it. You're going to still own it. It's still going to be there. Now, if you don't want this to happen to you anymore, hey, just let me know. You done with it? You done with hanging around with friends that think student loan debt is normal? Are you tired of going to weekend barbecues? And then when you get to the weekend barbecue, what you talking about? Fucking work? Oh yeah, man, I'm just getting into my hours, them overtime, and then start gossiping about who's doing what at work, always wrapped around work. And now, if you're on the weekend on your own time and you're talking about work still owns you. And you really don't get a full weekend off. You get off Friday, Saturday. As soon as the afternoon comes on Sunday, guess what you're doing? Thinking about work. Your brain is already there. Why are you doing that? You got student loan debt. That's a big red pill, man. If you're listening to this and your student loans are older than your FHA mortgage, your subprime mortgage, for you to take a big red pill, that's going to be a big red pill to realize you've been in a house for 15, 20 years and you don't own nothing. Never did. Probably refinanced the house to get a better interest rate 3, 4, 5 times, pulled out the equity. And the bank says, hey, why don't you pull out some equity so you can pay off that car and pay off the credit cards? The bank owns the cars and the credit cards. So you refinance their house, borrow some more money, give it right back to them by paying off them worthless liabilities they didn't want on the dockets anyway. They don't want no car on the docket. Pay it off. You're giving the money right back to them. In the meantime, you think you paid off your car. You go around telling people that your car is paid off. You didn't pay off nothing. You didn't pay off nothing. You refinance the house, you pay off 3, 4 credit cards. You think you're going to close them? No, you're not. You're going to leave them open. Why? Because you're going to spend on them again. Slave, they know that. They know that. You don't think when things are crap, hey, listen. You don't believe that you don't think they knew which businesses were going to close when this happened? The majority of people are missing payments on their business. Then they're surprised that they've been in 20 years in business. Then 1 month puts them out of business. What's that tell you? They've been out of business. First, it starts with them, because you guys, debt slaves, you guys don't understand. You guys don't know you don't own yourself. Okay, you don't know that. So you're going to carry those same habits to business. You're going to carry those. You're going to think, since you already believe in your personal life that you own your car, you own your house, even though you're making payments on it, you're going to come over here to the business side and do the exact same thing. You're going to think you own a business over here, just like the way you believe you own the house and the cars. That's what you believe. That's a belief. You obviously can't see negative numbers. That's obvious. Psychologically, of course. Imagine how many of you guys take the equity in the house and put it into your financial portfolio and add it to your net worth. You guys are putting in houses that you don't own, adding it to your net worth. The only thing worse than debt is time wasted paying back debt. Sure is, man. When you get out of debt, paying back every single penny that you borrowed is part of the process. You have to feel what you borrowed. You have to feel that shit. You have to feel what it's like to do businesses like that. You do businesses. Here's a business that did what it took to become big, to become profitable, and then you think you could just come along and just take from them. You can't do that. You can't do that. Because once you get out of the debt matrix and you do own your own business, you will clearly see that it's totally different. You don't do that to other businesses. You don't do that to people. If you did what it takes to create something, you're not going to abuse another business that's doing it too. Why would you do that? It makes no sense to do that. But people that understand money, they understand that you guys are in debt. You have no money. You guys don't understand the things that you guys will do for money. You guys will do stuff for money. Money is absolutely. They tell you right on the central bank's website. They tell you how much they print money for: 14 cents, 5 cents, 2 point. Man, if you got bill collectors, if you can't listen, if you can't even answer your phone because of bill collectors, that's your problem. You caused that. You better believe it. And once you get out of debt, you're going to understand time. Time is the most valuable thing on earth. Time. The reason why debt slaves don't know that, because you don't own the time in your life. That's why you don't know time is the most important thing. You know you're going to die. Everybody dies. Everybody dies. So you know you're going to die. Time is the most valuable thing on earth by default. And if you're in debt, you don't own the time in your life. You're probably wondering, then who owns it? Log into your Credit Karma. Look into your credit report. You'll see all the businesses that own your time. As soon as you sign up, listen, as soon as you sign up for an 84-month car loan, you are promising the bank money that you haven't even earned yet. You're promising it to the bank. The only way you're going to be able to earn that money, you have to use the time in your life by working. So when you use the time in your life to earn the money, that money's already gone because you promised it to the bank. For the next 84 months, you promised them $550 a month for that depreciating object sitting out in front of your house, impressing other slaves. You guys don't know. You guys are just impressing each other. Finance cars don't impress me or people like me. Who cares about a finance car? It's not yours. Finance boats. Like I'll see somebody, like I have a friend that he makes videos that he's riding in his boat. Of course, it's financed. And then all of a sudden you see these $1 million homes in the background. Okay, these multi-million-dollar homes. Trust me. The only way a person with a finance boat is ever going to have a house like that, they're never going to have a house like that ever, because they're in a finance boat. They're making boat payments. That's worse than car payments, boat payments. You think he knows that? He doesn't know that. He doesn't know that. He's in the debt matrix. What's up, Jaws? You need to talk to a TED Talk, sir. Hey, yeah, you're right. I did send I sent a thing to a TED Talk. You know, it's just a brief thing, but you know, I'm gonna send it again. I don't really know how to get on it, but hey, one day they will. But anyway, I'm looking forward to it. I'm ready. You know, honestly, I'm ready for anyone, Kay. I'm ready for any kind of talk, anything. I'm ready because I have the answer. The ability to see negative numbers psychologically. All right, that's the answer. So any country that has a capitalist economy, I'll fit right in. It doesn't matter, because capitalist economies, the majority for the capitalist economy to work, the majority must be in debt. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that because it's all by choice. Either you trust the calculator or you don't. That's your problem. If you don't, that's your problem. If you go on a car lot and finance a car for 84 months and you think you got a good deal, that is your problem. Nobody gets a finance car on sale. Nobody. Like when you guys drive by car lots and they have these sale prices in the window, they're talking to cash buyers. That has nothing to do with people financing cars for 84 months. That doesn't, nobody gets a finance car on sale. Nobody. When you see cell phones cost like that new Z Fold iPad 3 looking thing with Z Fold 3, that thing is almost $1,800, probably $2,000. How many debt slaves with their unemployment just got cut off on Monday? How many debt slaves you think are going to be buying the whole Z3 in cash? None, zero, none. Debt slaves are going to be financing $2,000 phones. iPhones, the iPhone 12 Max, that thing's like $1,500, $1,600, $1,700 by itself, brand new with taxes. How many debt slaves you thinking are buying those phones in cash? Yet every debt slave has one. They got Samsung and Apple got debt slaves believing the type of cell phone you have makes a statement. That's why they put all those 5, 6, 7 different cameras on the back of them, because as soon as somebody lifts the phone up and take a picture, you automatically know what type of phone they have by how many freaking lenses they have on the other. You think debt slaves are using all those lenses? No. You guys are financing phones. Even though unemployment has stopped, you see the big companies. You think they stopping advertising, getting a new phone? Come get this phone on us. What, free? They're giving away free phones. This is what I want you to do. I want you to walk into their business. I want you to walk in and say, hey, I'm here for the free phone. They're going to say, hey, sit down, sign this. And you're like, hey, I don't want to sign nothing. I'm just coming in here. I'm just coming in here to get my free phone. I don't want to sign anything. Let's see if you're going to get a free phone. Did I have my, could have small, there it is. Oops. LJ, when you have a house, oh yeah, most definitely. I'm gonna buy me a compound. That's what I'm gonna buy. I got to think about not only me, I got to think about some other family members. I just like, okay, what would be the best way to handle that? Including myself, because I'm not going to be young forever. Elon Musk and Zuckerberg don't spend so much on phones. Believe that, right? You know what's so crazy, Sal's, too? Every time you see like Elon, Gary Vaynerchuk, all those guys up on stage, what do they have on? T-shirt, jeans, and some tennis shoes. Because they know that shit don't mean nothing. It doesn't mean... If they come up on stage and they don't have red bottoms on, who cares? But people with student loan debt think that shit is important. That you have the top brand name clothes, the best car, all the while student loan debt is the oldest thing in their portfolio. Slaves financing everything, don't drown. If nigga says I'm watching you on an iPhone, those suckers aren't cheap, but mine is paid for. That's what I'm talking about. If you pay cash for your iPhone, hey, get the iPhone 12, 13, 14, 15, whatever. You get whatever you want, as long as you're not financing it. Oh, just 1 second here. Sorry, girlfriend texting me. All right. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Anyway. You see them ads, even though the majority of people were out of work, getting more in unemployment that they were getting at their job. That's why the jobs were short. Okay. Duh. Debt slaves, you guys don't have any money. As soon as they cut the money off, that's it. But yet cell phones are still selling. They're making that shit so easy for you guys to keep financing for, hey, bring your old phone in, get this phone on us. But at the bottom in the small print, you signed up for a 24-month contract. Okay, business says I walked into T-Mobile. They wanted me to finance an iPhone. I said, what's the cheapest phone y'all got? I paid cash for it. My old phone was used by my wife last year. That's what I'm talking about, man. You think they want people that pay cash for phones walking in the store? Nope, they don't make no money off people like that. They make money off of people financing phones. And you guys think that shit is normal. They load you guys up. Screen protectors, iPod ear thingies. Hey, you've been approved for this much. And guess what you guys do? You guys max out whatever they approve you for. Max it out. They know you're going to max it out because you want to look cool. You want to have the white things hanging from your ears. That's why everybody else jumped on it. As soon as Apple did this shit, have you noticed all these other companies have jumped on board because you guys will buy anything. And you guys are financing earbuds. When I saw the price of Apple earbuds, I said, congratulations, Apple. Congratulations. Congratulations, Apple. Congratulations. You guys are financing earbuds. You guys ain't paying cash for those. No, you're not. Those are like $150, almost $200. You walking in dropping $200 for some earbuds. No, you're not. You're financing them. And hey, listen, what happens if you lose one? You got to go buy a whole new set. Can you imagine how many people have lost one of their iPod earbuds? They're not even held by anything. They just plug in your ears. Bananas. Everybody, the majority of people that finance phones, they always get the earbuds. And way back when I had an iPhone, I remember when they first took away the headphone jack in the iPhones. The first thing I thought is like, what the? Hold up. You want me to buy your phone, but you taking away the option. Maybe I don't want to use wireless. Maybe I enjoy the sound better from plugged in headphones. No, sorry. I said, sorry, I'm leaving. Goodbye. You ain't telling me what I can and can't do with a phone that I own. You're not doing any of that. Sorry. See ya. I don't give a shit how good your touch screen is. Just to like transfer videos and do it. You got to hook up to iTunes. I was like, hell no, I ain't doing none of that. The funny part is that many older phones are better than the new ones. Get an older one used and it might be reliable, but slaves are gas. Yeah, I always I just buy my phones remanufactured off of Amazon. I just buy all the same guarantees. Everything's the same, but I buy them in cash. So when you guys trade in your own phones, now this is just my opinion. I don't know if they do that, but they take your old phones, probably get them redone, and then resell them. They sell them in big batches to people that resell cell phones. That's all they do. That's when I come in and buy cash. I just wait till you guys work out all the bugs and the problems of new phones because you guys are the guinea pigs. You guys are going to discover what's wrong with the new phones. It's not doing something this. It's not compatible with this. And then they work out all those bugs and then they move on to the next one. So I'll get to the last version of I'll get the last phone version of the last model. Then I know it's perfect. Ooh, $99 per pod. I can only imagine how many people have lost one. Oh, wait. Boy, you dead slaves, man. I'm telling you. Charles says the earn for Android phones are cheaper. $20. I don't want to pay that because I may lose them. Oh yeah, I personally, I just would never buy them because I would think I would lose them too. And those things are, when I saw the price of those, I was like, hell no, no. Can you imagine? Just think, this is what they do with, I know they do this to you debt slaves. I know they do this. When you finance them and you see how much they are, then at the same time, they're going to sell you insurance, not only for the phone, they're going to sell you insurance for the pods in your ears. So they're going to say, hey man, you know what? You never know. You might lose one. You want to be able, because they're like $200, and then you guys buy insurance. Not only are you financed, listen, this is what you debt slaves don't know. Since you don't have the money, the cash to buy the phone and the AirPods, You finance them both. So it's going to be the cost of the phone, the cost of the AirPods, plus tax. So they're going to add that together. You guys are going to finance the taxes too at an interest rate. And then you're going to get insurance on them both. Oh my God, they just do you guys. Oh, they just do you guys so dirty. They just like mop the fucking floor with you. I'm just like, oh, this is so bad. It's bad. And hey, they're not doing anything to you. Let me reiterate this. They're not doing anything to you. You are doing it to yourself. You are doing it to yourself. Nobody's money has nothing to do with the color of your skin, where you grew up, where 1 + 1 = 2, no matter where you live, no matter. When I shake my head like that, that was me. I'm embarrassed. I mean, I'm not embarrassed no more. I knew I was just a wandering debt slave. I just didn't know. But when I think about some of the things I used to do when debt, stand at car lots for 6 to 8 hours trying to finance a car, they already knew they could financially abuse me because I was sitting there trying to finance a car. The very fact that you would sit at a car lot for 6 to 8 hours, by very definition, you are a slave, a debt slave. You're going to sit at a car lot for 6 to 8 hours to finance a car. You sitting there crossing your fingers, hoping for the debt, or just hoping for it. LJ, I was financing all the accessories and paying insurance. Each item had its own. Oh my God. But you guys got to understand this. When you get out of debt and you create a business, that's what you have to do. You have to sell them stuff to finance. You have to sell them. They sell them insurance, because you got to remember, it's based on the fear, right? In the back of their mind, they don't know the fear is there because they're in debt. So they look at the price of these AirPods and they're like, oh my God, I don't have the money to cover that if I lose them. Of course you don't. You're in here financing them. Of course they know you don't. You're financing AirPods. So they're going to use that fear and sell you insurance. So you're probably a person with phone insurance, AirPod insurance, Gap insurance for your car. You probably got all this insurance on top of your payments. And then hey, check this out. And then when it's time to collect, say like you did lose your phone or one of your AirPods, and then it's time to use your insurance, there's a deductible. And then they make you jump through all these fucking hoops just to get them. Oh, it's just crazy. And then all you got, if you're a debt slave, all you got to do is think back. How many payments did I make to them before actually using this insurance? You probably made enough payments to them to pay for a brand new pair of iPods or to buy another one if you lost one. You make enough. Oh, slaves. I got the pros, and I literally get scared when I drop out the case. I think. Oh, okay. He's talking about, oh, gotcha. Okay, you're talking about the AirPods. Okay, I think about that price tag every time. Exactly. I'd be too, man. I just wouldn't do it. I mean, if I bought something like that, I would just use them at home, right? I wouldn't be out and about using them. I would just, damn, these gnats, man. I wouldn't be out and about doing that. I would be at home. No jogging in them. I'll just get regular plug in and just plug them in my ear. Because if you lose the wired ones, you're not really thinking it's a big deal. But you lose the AirPods, oh man. Logan says they are not financing the phone, they are financing the brand. Yes, they are. Congratulations, Apple. You think it costs Apple more than $100 to make a phone? Not even close. I mean, that's just my opinion. But if they're making millions of them, millions, each phone is not $1,700. Okay, it's not. My coworker has an iPhone. She has to use her charge port for wired headphones. Oh, she has to use her charging port for wired headphones, so she can't charge and use her headphones at the same time. I have a Galaxy A50 and I can, right? 9420 up. 94. And you just told me it was $99 for one. $94.20 per month. They're making bank. Oh my God. The service was separate. I bet it was. Unemployment benefits running out, eviction and student loan payments coming back now. Everything's coming back. I'm happy I did. I'm glad I did, man. It makes me feel good. I saw a woman living on a boat, another woman living in a bando. I'm not sure what a bando is. What's a bando? And here are these. Can you imagine how many people bought like a mobile home or, and it's paid off though, right? And here's people with big houses, with big mortgages, looking at people in mobile homes, looking at them like, oh, look, they can't afford a real house and blah. They have a paid off mobile home. Okay. And while the other people were looking down upon them because they had a big ass house, but a big mortgage, now they're about to lose the house. And now the people in the paid off mobile homes are saying, too bad for you. I always have a place to live, no bills, and a paid off place to live, man. Use them one time at the gym and you'll be hooked. Those pros. I mean, I bet I would, but I might use it at the gym because that's a more controlled environment. Maybe I would, if I got them, the gym at home, but I wouldn't be outside just doing everyday things with them because I'd be seeing like every now and then I'll see some, like if you walk by some security guards or something that's watching the place, they'll have the earbuds in their ears, right? Which I don't really understand. Why would you have those in your ear if you're working? But anyway, if they get into a scuffle with somebody trying to exit, those things are going to pop right out of your ear. You won't know where it lands. Somebody most definitely, if you drop one of your AirPods, somebody definitely is picking that up. I don't care if it's been in somebody's ear. They're going to pick it up and they're going to keep it. What's up, friend Shell? It's hard to date most men financing their cars. I bet it is. I bet it is. I wouldn't date anybody financing a car. Why? That'd be a total waste of time. You finance a car for how long? 84 months? Yeah, we can't date. Why? You got a finance car. And you're probably the same person begging for student loan forgiveness. LJ facts, I say, oh shit, every time, but they are good quality. Not for the price tag. They fit to your ear. You literally would have to want to lose them in order for that to happen. I mean, now let me make sure it's understood. Apple products are quality. Okay, I got a Mac. I would never go back to a PC. Once you go to a Mac, you're not going back to a PC. All right, I would never go. So I grew up on Windows and PC. So at first it was a hard curve to learn. But once you go over to the Mac, it's just like anything else. I wouldn't switch for anything, right? But I just, with phones, they just got too much control. I don't like that much control over my phone, right? That's something with me every single day. I don't want you to telling me I have to update my iOS all the damn time to do this and that. Nah, I'm good. No. Then noise cancellation is the best thing about them. I believe, you know what? I believe the quality because there's nothing like a Mac. You see the price tags of Macs. That's why they are, because it just is good product. Good product. What's up, Dark Man? Put it this way. If you are nervous about your unemployment being cut off and you have a brand new iPhone in your hand, that phone is the reason why you're scared. If you're nervous and scared as fuck right now because your unemployment got cut off on Monday and you have a car outside you're making payments on, that's why you're scared, because of the car outside you're making payments on. So you're making payments on a phone and a car. You probably got a mortgage too. That's why you're scared. Because if you didn't have any debt, it wouldn't bother you. It wouldn't bother you. Now, if you're new to the channel, don't be shy. You can come up and ask questions. If you want the real red pill, the real one, the only one, the one that's going to help you own yourself. Because the majority of people out here talking red pill, they don't own themselves. Those are debt slaves talking to you. If they're making car payments, that's the wrong red pill. If they're talking red pill and they got student loan debt, that's the wrong red pill. That's not the one you want. That's not it. If they're calling themselves homeowners with 30-year mortgages, that's the wrong red pill. That's not the one you want. That's the wrong red pill. I have an 8-year-old MacBook. I had to upgrade the hard drive and storage, but it still runs like a Honda Accord. Yeah, these Macs, man. Damn, these Nats, boy. Nats and Macs. Oh, the damn bananas over there. That's what okay. I just got to deal with it for now. Yeah, the only time I really messed around with Linux is when I had to do, if I didn't want to work in the GUI of the software that I used to work in, I wouldn't work in it. I would mess with Linux just a little bit. What's up, Mohammed? I have a great example for you, sir, on how saving money is best thing ever. I have 2 friends. One bought a Beamer with a huge installment. He couldn't afford to pay that. I'm not sure what you're meaning right there. But talking about somebody financed a car that it couldn't afford. But you guys got to understand, millions of people have done that. Okay. They were going out financing things while you guys are unemployment, living, feeling what it feels like to be free. That's what it really is. You guys have never, what you guys don't really understand is this. This is probably the first time you've ever felt true freedom. Being able to wake up when you want, go to the park, go have fun, do something with your kids, and you didn't really have to worry about getting back home or getting to work on it for months. Now it's come to an end. You didn't have to make it come to an end, but the majority of you did. What you guys did is just went deeper in debt. That's what you did. You didn't think about that it was going to come to an end. Even though they told you, they said, hey, the money stops Labor Day weekend. It stops. They just don't do it out of nowhere. They tell you the date. Just like they're telling you the date of the student loan payments. January of 22, you guys gonna have to start making payments again. What's up, Eclectic? Hello, sir. You are welcome. Dark Man says, I just realized the more you upgrade these iOS devices, the more storage they take, making the device slow down and wants to buy. Yeah, well, I mean, that's true, but you got to remember, technology evolves. It just gets newer and newer and newer. Of course, they're not going to make a newer iOS for the older technology. That just wouldn't make any sense, right? You got to think, when I used to use Apple products, I used to stop upgrading my iOS at a certain point, right? If I had a phone that was 1 year old, I would keep upgrading. I was 2 years old, I would do it. But after about 3, I just stopped upgrading the iOS, because I know after 3 years, whatever iOS they're working on right now is not going to be working for my 3-4 year old phone. That's just evolution, right? Good thing Androids they just don't work like that, right? You could still, at a certain point, you're going to have to upgrade your Android because the newer apps are not going to work for your older operating system. But I'm not forced to do it. I don't make phone payments either. I'm actually glad it's about time people become humble again. Every time you go out and see fat people and now hiring signs, the government set all the slaves for the okay. Well, yeah. I mean, again, like I was saying earlier, it didn't surprise me the amount of available jobs, because slaves don't want to go back to work. They're making more money not working. Why would anybody want to go back to work and make less money and no free time? Like, You go back to work, make less money, and you less free time. Instead, you could stay home and make more money and own all your time, right? But that's part of they just did that to get you guys out of the economy so they could rebuild it. Now they're putting you back in. Like I said in the beginning of this video, none of this could work without you, debt slaves, without you financing phones and cars, believing you're investing in 401ks and IRAs and retirement funds and investing in the stock market, Bitcoin. You guys can't do any of that, debt slaves. None of it. You can't save for retirement if you have student loan debt. You can't do that. You can't invest in the IRA if you have a mortgage. You can't invest in Bitcoin. Oh, crap. Hold up. My phone. I don't know why my alarm does that sometimes. Hold up. Sorry about that. I don't know why it does that sometimes. Just out of nowhere. 1 second. Come on. Get to it. Okay. Sorry about that. Anyway, I got my remote on my truck. It just alerts me on my phone when it happens, but it's right outside the door, so I can actually hear it. So, any questions? Like I said, 1% is making payments on student. Yeah, less than 1%. Right now, the majority of you guys don't know. Now was the time when they paused student loan payments and interest. Now was the time to go heavy on paying those student loan debts off. They're doing so much stuff behind the scenes back there with them student loan payments. When they're due in January, you guys are going to be surprised. I don't know what they're doing. They're doing something. They're rearranging shit back there. You guys it's going to be a whole new system. They're going to own you guys a whole different way. And you guys can't do anything about it because you owe them money. I want SMD to really stop blaming the government all. I know people, the government, you guys got to stop doing that. You guys got to look in the mirror. Nobody's doing anything to you. You're doing it to yourself. Muhammad says the best example of saving money I have to installment can afford. He is in debt. My other friend saved money for 5 years and he bought a Ford car in cash. Wow. Congratulations. You know, when you talk about buying a house in cash, what do debt slaves? First thing they say, oh man, I can't wait that long to buy a house. Nobody really has that amount of money. Like they have a choice. You guys think you have a choice, a different way to buy a house other than cash. There is no other way to buy a house. Cash is the only way to buy a house. The economy runs, sure does. All we got to do, like when I look at the economies, no matter, long as it's capitalist, I don't really care, right? If I move to Canada, I know exactly what to do. If I move to Australia, I know exactly what to do. Is it capitalist? Yeah, that's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. I know who to pick, who to say handle what, because I don't really need to understand their tax. Like, say like I moved to Australia. I don't really need to know their tax structure. All I do is hire a tax person in Australia who is debt free. They have to be debt free. I'm like, okay, who has a business that does Australian taxes and you're debt free? You're debt free? Cool. You know exactly not to break any of the rules. You know not to cheat on the taxes, right? Because people that are debt free, I promise you, that do taxes that are debt free, they know something that people that do taxes that are in debt, they know something different than those people. You get a debt free tax person. They know not to break any tax laws. They know that. Why? Because there is no reason to do that. You don't need to do that. It's just like a game. I mean, people cheat in basketball and football, whatever, right? To gain advantage, to do something that they're not supposed to. They know they're breaking the rules. It's the same thing. Don't forget to hit that like button. If you want an SMD shirt, scroll along the bottom there. Here's my Cash App. It's beautiful. It's absolute. This capitalist economies, absolutely phenomenal. Whoever designed this, I mean, whoever, what family, whatever, it doesn't really matter. I don't really care. They designed a system to where it's all a choice. You get to choose which side of the system you want to be on. Either you trust math or you don't. It's totally up to you. You don't trust math, you're on the wrong side of the system. If you're financing cars and boats and motorcycles and washer and dryers, you are on the wrong side of the system, the wrong side. If you're tired of being on that side, if you're tired of getting lost in gossip, you find yourself on channels that you might be, you're in a channel and you're on the channel for 2 hours talking about gossip. And then when it's over, you're back in your own world. As soon as the show's over, now you're back in your own world. And then I want you to log into your bank account and see if money was added to it or it got better. If it didn't change, you just wasted 2 hours. Talk about nothing. Now I get it. Gossip is a business. It allows debt slaves for an escape. You guys get to exit your world for a couple of hours. That's why it's so popular. Talk about nothing. Talking about other people's lives. Nothing to enhance yours, but you got plenty of time to watch about others. That's why. It's an escape. You get to leave your bills and your problems and get to focus on other people's problems for at least a couple hours out of the day. But now that they got 5G, you guys will be plugged in. This is the device used to plug you into the debt matrix. You guys don't believe me? This is what I want you to do. If you really want to see it, okay? Go to a crowded place, crowded park, amusement park, whatever. Don't bring your phone. Leave your phone in the car, and I just want you to watch everybody that's supposedly enjoying the park. Listen, go to a park and watch. Oh, this is better. Go to a park, a kid's park, okay? Watch how many parents are looking at their phones when they're supposed to be watching their kids. You know why they're doing that? They're plugged into the matrix. You take your kids to the park, but they're like this. Why are you at the park then? If you're going to be looking, you could look at your phone at home. Those are the people. Go to crowded places. This is what you're going to see. That means they're plugged in. They're plugged into the matrix. Have you noticed, like when you're looking at your phone, peripheral vision is gone. You can't even see from side. How many times have you been on the road? The light turns green. I guarantee you like 1 or 2 or 3 cars are always sitting there. Have you noticed that? Everybody drives off and then there's always a car sitting there. Why? They're plugged in the matrix at the light. They don't have any peripheral vision, else they would see the cars driving off. They would see them, right? But when you're looking at your phone, you can't see nothing. Whenever I see that, I like, oh, yep, that person's plugged into the matrix, right on the road. People think it's not, oh man, what's the matrix? All you gotta do is go out in public. Look at all the parents at the parks. Yeah, honey, that's good. The matrix is in your face every single day. Hey, check this out. Go to dinner. Go to dinner. You will see couples and families just like this at the table. I went to Olive Garden. I purposely leave my phone in the car when I go out to eat. Purposely. Because I love to see couples across the table with each other like this. Families that go out to dinner, supposed to be enjoying each other. They're all at the table like this. That's the matrix. I'm guilty of being on my phone all the time. Yeah, Dark Man, that's a hard. Hey, I just want you to reckon. that you recognize that you're doing that. Do you know how many millions of people that don't recognize that they're doing that? Don't even recognize that they're doing that. You're supposed to be there enjoying whoever, and everybody's on their phones like this. Don't believe me? Go to a park. Go to a park, watch it, just watch the parents with their children. It's bananas. It's absolutely bananas. What you say, Sal? What's even worse is that many people that plan on working many jobs have to get that fee shot. They sure do. They do. I've been seeing it. Hospitals, they're required. Listen, like if you work at a hospital, you're a nurse or a doctor, you're probably deep in student loan debt, deep. You think you have a choice to not take the shot? No, you don't. You don't have a choice. You do not have a choice to take that shot. You got student loan debt. You're deep. So if they require you to take the shot, guess what? Hey, you are required to take this shot or else you can't work here. What are you going to do? You're going to take the shot because you have to. You have to take the shot. Being a doctor or a nurse, you've probably done that all your life. What are you going to do? Switch up careers? No, you're not. No, you're not. You're going to be like, oh, well, I got to take that shot. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. That is the only way to be. You're right, Antoine. The only way to be. I get to meet like-minded people. I get to meet other SMD family members that are free. You know what we talk about? Enjoying life. That's what we do. Me and Antoine had lunch, a couple months back. What do we talk about? A meeting, of course. And then what we talk about? Freedom. Just what we can do. Everything's possible. Anything we can do. You feel like doing it, you can just do it. Unfortunately, not everyone can work from home. Nope. But Jewel, the majority will be working from home. You think, put it this way, you guys. During the pandemic, they had sent people to work from home. So what that means is that they don't need it. The big businesses realize they don't need buildings. They don't have to worry about power, building insurance, being responsible for you, blah, blah, blah. They don't even need a building. You think they're going to go back to that? No, they're going to leave you guys at home, turn you guys from W-2 into 1090, use your own water, electricity. But you guys love it too. It's a win-win. You guys think it's a win-win, but what you guys are going to be doing is working more hours now. Now that you don't have to drive in traffic, you guys are gonna justify no traffic time for more hours working at home. You guys are going to be working 16 hours at home. But since you guys are working from home, you're not going to think it's a big deal. That's a win-win. Jeremy says, a lawyer is a profound student. Oh, yeah, for sure. What you guys, what's so crazy is that there's a lot of people out there that feel bad because they don't have a college degree. But with you guys with no college degrees, you guys don't understand. You also have no college debt. The majority of people with these higher educations, doctors, lawyers, pharmacists, whatever, they are the deepest in debt. I guarantee you the majority of them would trade you in a second if they could. They got hundreds of thousands. Can you imagine being $100,000 in student loan debt? $100,000, $100,000. They're well over that. Doctors, lawyers, they're well over that. I know it looks like this. I know it looks like success because you hear the salaries that they make. You see the cars they drive. You see the houses that they're in. All you got to do is say, do you got student loan debt? Yeah. If they say yes, that means everything you see is a mathematical illusion. If they know this or not, that's 100% irrelevant. But then you got to think to yourself also like this. Wait a minute. They're so smart. They're a doctor. They're a lawyer. They had to get all this education to do. They don't know. They don't know that because it has nothing to do with your schooling. Nothing. If you go to, say, like, a lawyer that he's a fancy lawyer, he or she, and then you find out they got student loans and they've been having them for the last 10 or 15 years. This is what you ask them. Why do you have student loans for 15 years? Why? How much have you been making for the last 10? But you've had your student loans for 15. Why? Well, why? They won't have an answer for you because they don't know. Because it has nothing to do with the college you went to. It doesn't have anything to your choice, career choice. It has nothing to do with that. Nothing. They can't see negative numbers psychologically. Just because you guys, this is what debt slaves do. They make more money, they get bigger debts. They get a raise, they upgrade their car. They get a raise, they upgrade the house, they get a bigger mortgage. Oh man, I got a raise, now I can afford a bigger house. Knocking them 2 steps back, because this is what debt slaves don't know they do. They get a raise, that means they go up in tax bracket. But the only way to reduce your tax bracket, you can't be in debt. That's the only way to do it. The only way to reduce your tax bracket, you cannot be in personal debt. You can't. But since they don't know that, they go deeper in debt twice as fast because they can't reduce their tax bracket. So they upgrade their house, meaning they got a bigger debt, and they go higher up in their tax bracket, paying higher in taxes and a bigger mortgage. Oh man, I can write off the interest on my house. Why do you think that, slave? That's, first of all, it's not your house. You didn't even have the money to buy it. And you think you're going to write off taxes on something that you don't even own? According to who? You? Who told you that? The bank? The bank tell you that? People think they're writing off interest on taxes on their student loan debt. Who told you that? The student loan place? What's up, E-Man? I used to be a CPS case manager. Most lawyers work at the state, which pays them very little money. They're trapped. They're trapped. Can you imagine being a public defender, went to school all those years, making $40,000 a year, but you got $150,000 in student loan debt? You're going to do what you're told. That's what you're going to do. You're going to do what you're told. Because you better believe when you become, and this is just a guess, it just makes sense to me. You go to lawyer school, and then you go apply to be a public defender. I guarantee you they run your credit. They're going to see how much student loan debt. Your credit's going to tell them how deep in debt you are and how desperate you are. Because when you're in debt like that, you don't walk in naming your salary. You don't do that. You're going to take what they give you. As soon as they run your credit, they're going to offer you some bullshit because you're going to take it because you have to. You got $150,000 in lawyer student loan debt. You're going to take it. And this is what you're going to do. You're going to get this many cases done. You're going to push this through. You're going to do whatever you're told to do. It's just business, nothing personal. It is what it is. People just don't know how it really works. Like, here, let me give you another example. My girlfriend has a young son who's 8. He's in math class right now, right? They teach kids so many different ways to get the same fucking answer. It's mind blowing. It's like, hey, 5 times 5 is 25. Period. Just teach them that. Because all this stuff the stuff, and I'm sure it happened when I was a young kid too. I don't use any of that in the real world. I don't 5 apples over here. No, I just use my because you got to remember, they always make you feel stupid for using the calculator. Don't use the calculator. You'll never learn nothing if you. That's why everybody's in debt right now. That's why you're debt slaves, because you guys don't use the calculator. That's on purpose. Believe that. That's on purpose. And when I see during this, and I don't mean to go off on this, but when I saw when the kids had to stay home, and then I'd see my girlfriend homeschool her son, for the work that public schools teachers do, they don't get paid enough. They don't get paid nearly. No. You know why the majority of public school teachers accept that kind of work because they're in student loan debt. They work before school starts, during school starts, after work school, making calls, parent conferences. I'm like, how much do they pay you to use up all your time like that? They ain't paying you enough. The reason why you accept it because it doesn't even make any sense. In order to be like a grade school teacher, you got to go and get in debt $100,000 in student loan debt to make $40,000 a year. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. I guarantee you this: if you got an education and you paid your debt off and you become really, really good, you would work at different kind of schools that understand that you are here by choice, not because you have to be here. You're here because you love teaching children. And you'll say, hey, yeah, but hey, check this out. I love the children, but I still have my own life too. I'm still married. I still have my own children, and I want to spend time with them. So when I leave here at school at 5, everything stays here. Well, this workload, you got to reduce that workload because it's going to infringe on my family time. I'm not doing any of that. No. Are you guys paying me for that? No, then I'm not doing it. Can you imagine sending your child to a school filled with teachers with no debt? You know they are all there by choice and they're getting paid what they're worth. They know they're getting paid what they're worth. Can you imagine the education your kids will get? For sure, right off the bat. Don't get me wrong. I understand the purpose of public schools. The majority must be in debt for a capitalist economy to work. They must be in debt, but it's all by choice. What's up, Atticus? I got the notification that a package is on its. Oh, cool, man. Okay. Nice. Got a shirt. Atticus picked up a shirt. Atticus says, depending on the job and position, they will run your credit. That's true. The jobs I had, they always ran my credit. You know what's so crazy? I've always had good credit, but I always found it weird. Why are you guys running my credit? Well, I don't get it. I'm not buying anything. Why? Now I know why. They want to see how much debt you're in. As soon as they run your credit, they know what to offer you. If they run your credit and you're deep in debt and you got collection people after you and all this other stuff, that's going to determine if they're going to hire you or not first. That's going to determine what sensitive positions they might put you in or not. If you're deep in debt and you got collectors after you, they're not going to put you in a position where you have access to money. They're not going to put you there. E-Man says that's why public defenders don't really defend well. They're buried in debt. You better believe public defenders are told they do what they're told. It's just business. Okay. It's just business. It's like when you go break a law, you know it's a law and you break it. You got to deal with the consequences. You know that what you're about to do, especially if you break a law and it could cost you the time in your life. If you're doing something that can cost the time in your life, you are what's called an unconscious slave. Totally unconscious. Totally unconscious. John Kennedy said, "Big facts, LJ. They don't want to use the CAL, but they use it. Cal? What do you mean? What are you talking about, John? I'm not sure what you meant." Six says, "LJ, I probably won't get a shirt because I love being invisible, but the book, oh God, I can't wait for it." No, it's cool. I mean, I want you guys to understand something. I know you guys support me in many different ways. Shirts are just, that's just another way to express what I teach, right? I don't want you guys to think that be the pressure to say, oh man, I got to show my support to buy. No, man, you buy a shirt if you want to buy a shirt. When the book comes out, I'm sure more people are going to be buying the book. It don't even have to be a thick book either. It don't. Any questions? Any questions? Yeah, that book, man, it's gonna be amazing. I ain't gonna lie, Zig. It's gonna be amazing. And the one thing about writing this particular book, it's not. I don't put a time frame on it because once you get out of the debt matrix, you don't really go by time anymore, right? You do it how you feel it. That's how it works, right? It's on my time frame, right? But I'm excited about it, though. I really am. I am. Oh, they don't want you to use the calculator for sure, but they damn sure do. Yeah, you're right. You're right. What's up, Andre? What's going on? Like I always say, I'll be doing this until I'm dead. I don't want to retire. Wipe my face there. And if you guys haven't checked out, here, let me put. Damn, what did I do with that? I did a podcast with a guy named Chris. Let me get this link real quick here. And I'm going to paste the link in here. He got many different platforms. I'll paste two. I'll paste this one. If you haven't checked it out, check it out when you get a chance. And that's the link to all of his places that he has it at. And then I'm going to paste the SoundCloud. The SoundCloud one worked for me because it worked via the browser, which I liked. That was nice. That's cool, man. When you coming back down, Antoine? It counts on when you coming. I love living in a vacation city, which is cool. So if you guys ever come to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, let me know. And of course, we can meet up. I'd love to meet other SMD family members. That was a good time. So there's the link that with the podcast I did with this young man named Chris right there. Check that out. The first link is for all of his platforms, and this is just the SoundCloud one because I don't really have these podcast apps, so I enjoy that I could just click on that one and I could listen through the browser, which was nice. Which, if any of you guys know which podcast platform is the largest, which one is the biggest platform? Because that's the only one I really want to pay attention to, really. If I decide to turn these videos into podcasts, I can just take these videos, make them audio only, download them, make them audio only, and upload them and just turn it into a podcast on one of the platforms. So if you guys know which podcast platform is the biggest, I'd appreciate it. Any other questions? If not, we're going to wrap this up. What's up, Theo? What's going on? What's up, Atticus? Welcome.
I'm very good. Can you hear me?
I can. What's going on, man?
I'm very good. I just wanted to touch base with you, LJ. I just want to say peace to you, salute to you, peace to the whole SMD family. I'm waking up very early in the morning. It's about 10:30 in London, but I'm waking up at 5 a.m. But I had to jump on real quick. Some people have told me that my mic is low. I just want to know, can you hear me clearly, or should I add it or reduce it?
I had to turn my volume up. I did have to turn it up. So I don't know if you have
How about now?
Yeah, it's loud now. Okay, I'm gonna turn my thing back down now. Okay. All right, we're good.
Yeah, I don't want to disrupt anything.
No, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to jump on and just say hello. It's a wonderful program. It's not a show. You're not hosting a show. A show is there for entertainment. This is a program, and it's amazing. I mean, your advice. Yes, I always knew it, but to hear it being said again and being reinforced, it feels very good. I'm free. LJ, I'm a free man.
I can hear it in your voice, man. I'm excited. I'm excited to hear the stories when you get the shirt. I'm excited, man. I want to hear the stories when you wear that shirt, man. I just cannot wait.
Listen, I'm gonna take pictures. I'm gonna take discreet pictures because London is very it's not like America. You guys are more open, but it's not like America. But I will be taking discreet pictures of people staring, and I'll send them to you personally. kind of thing, and then you can choose which one you want to post, kind of thing.
What, they don't like people taking pictures or something, or what?
It's a very conservative society. Everybody keeps to themselves. People don't talk to each other as much as I see Americans do. For example, you Americans have this principle about freedom of speech. Um, Freedom of speech is not a right in the United Kingdom, it's a privilege. It's granted by the United Kingdom Parliament and can be withdrawn at any moment.
Wow.
I
Okay.
promise you. Why do you
Wow.
think America was formed? They ran from there.
Ah. No, sometimes sometimes I watch First Amendment audits here in the United States where they watch the police and stuff like that. And
Mm.
sometimes I watch the ones in UK, and it seems like they have the same type of rights there. It looks the same.
On the surface, it does, but you
Um,
have to remember it's not a right. They're privileges. It's called Her Majesty's government for a reason. It's not the United Kingdom's government
gotcha.
as you understand. It's
I
it's
do.
Her Majesty's. So
Uh,
it's everything is granted. Nothing is guaranteed.
it's just like when I see that, it's just weird to see police with no guns, right? It kind of just throws me off. it's, it's just like, hey, put that down. They have a stick in their hand. Say, hey, put that. That's like, wow, that's weird to me. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. They're not scared, okay, or whatever, right? But
I
I guess
agree. I agree
it's a
with you. The
serious
thing is
penalty if
this:
you're caught with a gun over there, though, right?
if it's an unlicensed weapon, people can
Oh,
actually get licensed weapons, but they can't carry them for
like we can.
self-protection.
You
Yeah, they
can't. You
can't.
can't have a concealed weapon with you, like we can.
No, no.
Okay,
It has to be under very specific conditions. Usually,
gotcha.
farmers or people who live in remote areas, or
Uh,
even if you are an enthusiast, you have to keep it within a certain set of conditions. You
gotcha.
can't walk around with it.
So tell me this
Who's got?
about debt. Is it pretty
Mm,
much the same over there in the UK as us?
abs- Absolutely, absolutely. That's why I
Mm,
listen to you. Absolutely. You have to remember when it comes to the financial system, the United States and the United Kingdom are twins tied to the hip.
right. And
It's always
Canada.
been like
I
that.
think Canada's the
And
same
Canada.
too.
Canada, New Zealand,
Yeah.
Australia,
As long as it's
anywhere.
capitalist, it's the same. As long as it's
Yes,
capitalist. Yeah.
yes. And guess what? I am a capitalist.
Yeah, I bet
I
you
don't.
are now. You're gonna really be one now that you're
Yes,
free.
sir.
It's wonderful. It's totally different when you're free. You're like, oh
Hmm.
man, this is wonderful.
Why do you think the people that run the system do it the way they do?
I
Because
know.
they are free.
Yes.
You
I respect
understand?
you respect them in a totally different way now. When you're like,
Absolutely.
oh, it was my fault. Got it. Okay.
Absolutely. You said
Yeah.
it right, LJ, because guess what? This is a game. If you don't know what you're doing, guess what? You're in the game by default, by birth. You're in the game. It's your responsibility to figure out the rules, how the scoring system works, who the referees are, who the crowds are, etc. What pitch you're playing in. It's your responsibility to learn it. No one's going to teach you this.
Now we have social security numbers. What do you guys have?
It's called national insurance, but it's the same thing.
Oh, it's a number too, all right.
Absolutely, it's a code.
Okay.
It starts with
National
two letters.
insurance.
Yep, and it goes towards paying for the roads, your unemployment benefits, your health care,
But it is
etc.,
a number.
etc.
It is a number.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
All
it
right.
is.
And you get it when you're born in UK, correct?
Actually, no, you get it when you apply for it. So most people apply for it at the age of 16.
Well, we're assigned a social security number when we're born. We get this
You, you,
number.
you have to remember, America was formed as a republic.
Mm, mm,
So that's why they took that route. In the United Kingdom, you are a ward of the state, whether you like it or not, if you were
mm,
born here. I'm a
mm.
foreigner. Remember,
Okay.
I told you I'm from the Republic of Kenya. But
Okay.
if remember, this is a monarchy.
Okay.
So by default, you belong to the state.
Mm.
By default. That's why you apply for it and they formalize you into the system. But you are a part of the system, whether you like it or not.
And it's a choice of how you want to be part of. I mean, it's no different if you're born here, you're part of the United States system. I get it. I totally. They got rules here, they got rules there, but it's still up to you on how you want to be part of that system. That's totally up to you.
Exactly. The choice is yours. They're not going to tell you what you need to know,
Right.
but there is a way to
Yes.
navigate. There's no way
Yes.
of escaping it. I will put my hands up. This
Right.
world of ours, every single government, excuse me, every single government has their own system. Unless you're born in some backwater jungle somewhere
Right.
that nobody knows who you are,
Right.
it's inescapable. Learn the system, learn the game.
Mm-hmm.
You too can be free.
You just got to
I'm
trust.
saying
All
this.
you got to do is trust the calculator. That's it.
That's it. Math.
That's,
Math never fails. The
math
universe
never
uses
fails.
math.
And the answer is this: the ability to see negative numbers psychologically. That's the answer.
Yes.
That is the answer.
Yes.
That is the answer. Ain't that, it's you know what? Honestly, I'm just happy. I feel blessed that I have the answer. I really do. I feel very privileged to know this information.
I think you know why it humbles me to hear you say that because I know you had to go through it to know it. You personally, LJ.
Yes,
So
for
you
sure.
weren't born knowing any of this information. This is why it humbles me to hear you say what you've just said because I know you had to go through it.
And how
It's
old are
not by
you? How old
default.
are you?
I'm 34, turning 35 in
Oh
November.
man. And it humbles me and privileges me to give you this information, the answer at 35.
Yes, sir.
Because now you get to pick which way you want to be to become a multimillionaire. Now you just can pick it.
I was thinking, this is, sorry, LJ.
Mhm.
It's one of the reasons I wanted to jump on real quick. I was really contemplating what you just said. And I look at the world as it is. And there's a lot of people that are not free by other people's choice, not their own. I'm not talking just about debt because there's other kinds of imprisonment, enslavement, etc. And for us to be where we are, and I mean everybody on a SMD, everybody watching this in the West, for instance, and other parts of the world that don't have those systems of enslavement outside of debt, we're very fortunate to be able to have a modicum of choice, you know? And a lot of people squander that, LJ. They squander it, they throw it away, they don't even consider it.
Well, because they don't know. Awareness, awareness is the ability to see the obvious.
But LJ, you know what they say, ignorance is no excuse. Go to court and tell them, I didn't know that was a law. They'll tell you, I'm sorry, sir.
Right.
Ignorance is no
But
excuse.
this is slightly different because you walking in saying that, well, you know the law existed, right? You can read in a book, okay, this law says this, but when it comes to knowing this information, there is no book because I haven't wrote it yet. There is no book to look it up to say, hey, what is awareness? The ability, Google, hey, what's the definition of the ability to see negative numbers psychologically? See what Google comes back with. Google probably malfunction. It's like, what are you talking about? Ain't nobody ever asked me that question. I'm gonna give you that answer, right? They don't know. It's different. It's kind of different than ignorance, right? You grow up in a program, everybody around you that love you are teaching you the same thing. You say, oh, it must be right. They love me. But they don't know.
Mm. Misinformation, I think, perpetuated misinformation, not maliciously. At some
Right.
point,
Correct.
it started maliciously,
Mm-hmm.
but it just becomes self-replicating.
I don't want the
Like,
majority to know either. I don't want that because that would be bad. That would be bad for us. I don't want that.
oh God, oh
It's a
God.
choice. I don't want because you and I wouldn't be able to enjoy life if the majority woke up. That would be bad.
No, I don't know, but I'm just saying. It's like I think there's enough resources for all humans
Of
to be
course.
able to have a
Oh no, that's 100% true. You're right,
yeah.
but it's still a choice.
Yes, that's my whole point. It's a choice. Now, for the people in a position to know, I think that's better put. For those in a position to know, and yet choose not to even look, LJ, that blows my mind because I've come from so far. I come from half a planet away,
Yeah,
and
yeah, that's
here I
different.
am with you having this conversation.
Right, right. If I didn't follow I'm hearing a lot of feedback when I'm not sure if I'm
I'm
supposed to.
sorry. I think it's my mic. Let me turn it down a little bit, please.
No, you could just mute. You just mute your mic when I talk, and then it won't. And then you just come back in. There you go.
Will
You can. I mean, you've come to a different country, right? That's something that I can't even fathom in my head because I've been in the United States all my life. I've never moved to another country, right? You had to learn a whole new system, and to be blessed with this information now, and you're 35. It sounds like you ain't got no kids or anything yet.
no
When if
kids.
you and if you ever decide to do it, you're going to naturally teach this to your children. You're not going
Absolutely.
to forget to teach them about this. That's not going to happen.
No, you're absolutely right. I have no kids. I have no attachments per se. Um, and I will absolutely teach this to my kids. Even though my father did well for himself relative to where he is and took care of my mother and us, his children, I still had to learn this on my own. He never taught me any of this because, like you said, he didn't know. But
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have three brothers and one sister. I'm fourth in line, five siblings in
Now, have you
total.
talked to any of them about this?
I do speak to my eldest brother, who's in the United States, state of Texas.
Mhm.
He's a data analyst. I've spoken to him about this, and my youngest brother, who is also here in London, but he's doing his own thing, accountant. I've spoken to him about this as well. But the
What's
others,
their response?
pretty much the same as me.
Okay, okay. They're
Yep.
so they're listening.
I haven't given them the name of the show yet, but I will be.
No, not listening to the show. They're listening to you.
We'll listen to each other because
Okay.
we're on the same wavelength. I promise you that we're on the same wavelength. I was
Okay.
very the last time I saw my eldest brother, who's in the United States, was 1997, and I had a very good conversation with him earlier on in the year. He's 43, going on 44 next year. I'm 30. I'm 34 myself, and I was very shocked at how much we agreed on. Because siblings usually disagree and blah blah blah, etc.
Right. Right.
But his outlook in life is pretty much very similar to me. Very similar. It's about being free and knowing what the cost of freedom can be and is, as it were.
Do you
It's
know how
about
free you're
discipline.
going to be right now at 35, man? Do you know how free you're going to be?
LJ, I'm taking it all in. Honestly,
Man,
it's like when I wake up every day. Look, I go to work. I wake up at 5 a.m. so I can make it work for 7:30. I finish at 5 p.m. I make it home about 6:30. And regardless of that, I'm free, LJ. I can
right.
choose to walk away at any
Yes.
moment. I've heard you say that. I've heard you say that at a previous program, and that really, really touched me. It's like at any moment I can choose to just get up and say,
Yes.
"It's been fun. It's
Isn't
been
that amazing
emotional.
feeling? Isn't that amazing?
It's it's awesome. Oh my God, it is awesome." Because LJ, I listen to certain channels online, and I hear I hear people talk about the situations they may be in or they've observed, and they're not free. They're tied down by something here or there.
Right.
I'm free.
Yes, you are.
LJ, it feels so good. But I'm not afraid. And you know why it feels good?
Hmm.
Because I am never someone to shy away from responsibility, personal accountability.
Hmm.
I don't want anyone controlling my life because I'm very capable of doing it myself.
Hmm.
And I'm willing to take whatever consequence comes with it. I
Right.
am.
Right. Yeah. It's My girlfriend just she says it's always great to hear other people's perspective across different cultures and countries. Okay.
Hello, Miss Walls. She said hello to you.
Yeah, she heard you on the mic, and so she decided to go in there and chime
LJ
in.
the truth. LJ is the truth. I'm
Thank you,
following
sir.
him. I'm not abandoning LJ. I'm with you.
What's up, International Mind? You want to say something to Atticus?
Peace International.
I hope he was having trouble connecting. You there, Andre?
Yeah, I'm here now.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to thank Atticus for getting on. Like Ms. Wall said, yeah, it's important to get a different perspective because I think a lot of times people think that it's just them or just their country or just their city or their town that the reason why they're having trouble, and it's not. It has everything to do with the individual and how they approach their life. Um,
Yes.
You know, I've come
I'm
across
very happy.
frequently, recently in particular, I found that people are can get discouraged. I'm starting to notice that, particularly since COVID. Um, I've noticed there's been a lot of uh, despondency, I guess it would be the word. They feel like they can't win, so to speak. And I just wanted to say that Atticus is proof that someone can come from humble beginnings and make something of himself and do well. So it's more a state of mind and the person's willingness to do the work and to be honest with themselves. That really makes all the difference. So I just wanted to add those 2 cents.
For sure. Yeah, that's big.
Yes.
How long you been living in the UK, Atticus?
I've been here since 2003.
Okay.
But I have been going back and forth, so it's about 18 years now.
Gotcha. Now, have you ever come to the U.S. before?
I've never been, but I'm planning to.
Okay.
Very interesting story, gentlemen. But before I answer that, LJ, kindly, please,
Huh?
I just want to say salute to International Minded. The last conversation we had, sir, I salute you.
Thank you.
Forever. I'm very happy you joined in. I never knew that you would, but I'm very happy that you're here. I did ask LJ if he had some social media because I follow LJ and I wanted to follow you as well, just to keep in touch, just to know what each one of us is doing, kind of thing. I don't know if you do.
I don't have it. I just in some Instagram. I'll go ahead and send it to you in the Discord.
Yes,
Everyone's
please.
kind of pushing me now. They want me to do a channel and all that. I really don't have the time for it to be worthwhile for me and for others. So, but if
LJ,
something
talk to
changes,
him.
I'll let
LJ,
you.
talk to him. Talk to him, LJ.
Well,
Talk to him, LJ.
I know how to get him to jump on. It just counts on the type of guest I bring on. If I want him to come on, I'll just bring a certain guest on, and he'll come right on, real fast, just like that, right?
No, but honestly, if you have an Instagram, put it in the back chat. I will follow you right now because I am not going to leave LJ. He speaks the truth.
Okay, no problem.
I'm about things that make sense. Plain and simple. I'm not fancy. I'm not outlandish, etc., etc. I'm just me, for what it's worth.
Yeah. It's funny. This is one thing I do notice. People try to overcomplicate stuff, and I really I don't understand that at all. Like for example, with LJ, what LJ's doing, he has distilled it down to. I don't really think you can go any further. Like you can't make this any simpler.
Right.
And I don't, and they want to do all kinds of nonsense, so it doesn't make sense to me.
With LJ, it's like distilled fine. It's like a distilled fine beverage. You don't get the crap. You get
like
the pure
Everclear.
Stuff.
Well, see, me International Minded was talking because I was, I was saying slave all the time, Atticus, right? Even saying slave by itself would still leave slaves open to opinion, right? But if I say debt slave, there's no really no more room for different opinions. I try to bring it all the way down just to the bare bones to where no opinion can be placed in anywhere, you know?
Actually, I would stay with the former. Don't say debt slave.
Why you
Keep
say
saying
that?
what you're saying.
Why you say
You
that?
say because it's mental gymnastics people are playing, LJ. When you say debt slave, it gives them an out in their minds. People need to, not you, but people need, you don't need them to hear this, but they need to hear this, if you understand
True.
what I'm saying.
True.
So
No,
when you
it
stay
was
with the
good to
former,
use it. It was good to use it coming out the gate, right? Because it's a
yeah.
shocker. Like, who are you talking? Who are you calling slave and this and that? But you got to remember, you know, that's why that's why I can't really put that on a shirt because that would cause a fight, right? That would cause a fight, you know. Especially say like I put slave on a shirt, right? And then a white person buys the shirt. You see what I'm saying?
No. Wait, Prince put that on his face.
Put what on his face?
The word slave. Remember?
No, I didn't know he did that.
He did.
Well, he's Prince.
And you're LJ. That's my point.
Okay. I mean, I know, trust me. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. But debt slave, I don't know. I'm bouncing back and forth between it. But debt slave, it's a little more acceptable to grow across the platforms. You know what I'm saying? It's a little more acceptable.
LJ, you have to remember, maybe because I'm going to say this very respectfully.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because it's a generational thing. But with these lot, you have to be in their face.
Well, what's so crazy? It's true because it's in the Bible, right? Even
yes,
this is what's crazy. Even when I first started saying slave, right? I said, hey, I didn't come up with slave myself. I found it in the Bible, and I even give them the place to look, and they still don't accept it. Still don't accept it. And it's not, I don't care. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't, if they don't want to believe it, they just don't have to believe it. But in order to still say what I want to say and grow, you know what I'm saying?
Generate the conversation. The only way you'll do that is to be in their face. I'm not lying to you, LJ.
True.
I'm telling you, this generation is one that's sedated. You have to remember, liberalization, forgive me, of narcotics, for instance.
Right.
That's this generation. Never happened.
Well, that's part of the program, right? The majority must be that, and I get it. It's the way it is here, UK, Australia. I get it, totally get it, right?
Yes,
but it's still a choice, though. You could choose to be a slave or not. That's totally up to you.
No, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just
no, I know you're not disagreeing. I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying you are.
For those who are yet to hear the message, you have to understand they are
right.
Their mental state is compromised, so you have to come harder than whatever it is they're taking.
Well, the program's strong. That's why the program is strong.
Exactly.
It's strong.
So you have to be stronger. So that's why I said go with the former. I'm telling you, you generate conversation, and then when they come and say, "How dare you do this? How dare you say that?" Then you can give them context. Then you can feed them the information they need to hear. But if you go the gentle route first, keep on walking by and go for the next.
You think? Hey, you think that slave is gentle? You think that's you? Because you're saying it's more gentle than slave, right?
It's too gentle. I'm sorry, it is. Every time you use the former, LJ, what kind of attention did it generate? Whether on your channel or on other people's channel? Because I saw you on Bernard Riley's, I saw you on Ramil's, and you used the former.
Right.
And you saw the effect. And you gave them context. Once they joined in, you gave them context.
Right.
And they could not talk around it.
No.
That's
I get it. Trust me, I get it.
Get them in the church. This is the real church, not that church out there that's been playing people for ages.
I know. You know what? You're right. I mean, I should have Atticus do the audio book for me here in America. Right? I just have Atticus read the book, and then we make it the audio. You're right. They'll be like, "Oh my God."
To Amina, this is audible.
This is what's funny, Atticus. It's like because you can't hear your accent, right? Which is we can't hear ours either, right?
Yeah,
we don't
yeah.
we don't know how we sound to you, right? That's why it would work. Like you reading the audiobook over here, they would just be amazed.
Every time, listen, anytime I hear that, I feel awkward because I'm just me. It's like it's just me. It's little old me. I don't have a channel. I'm just an ordinary person. I wake up in the morning. I go to work. I don't do anything particularly spectacular.
Well, because of course, you're just being you. But the way you say things, you're like, I got home at half, you know how you say it? I got home
half five.
Half five. We don't say that. We say 5:30. You know, it's like half. As soon as you hear a person say, "I got home at half five," you're like, "What? Half five? What's half five?" And then you're like, "Oh, okay, 5:30."
LJ, let me say one thing for Amina. This is for you. This is audible.
This is cool. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's cool.
Yeah, that'd be a perfect voice for the book.
It would. That would be.
Cut it out, international minded.
That would be amazing.
Cut it out.
Oh, well, Andre has been trying to get me to expand my mind world, right? I'm getting out slowly, but you know, I'm so focused in on the United States because I was born here, right? But that would be awesome right there. I ain't gonna lie, that would be amazing.
Well, LJ, all I'm saying is this: I'm sticking with you. That's all.
I appreciate that, man.
Regardless of what comes in the future, etc. I'm sticking with you. What you present is very pertinent, very, very pertinent. It's real world. It's uncomplicated. It's unconvoluted. It's what everyone needs to hear. It's it's what I would have hoped everyone was taught from home. But we know the circumstances that.
You know that it can't be that way, right?
I do.
Okay. So you create that within your own family now, generational wealth or whatever you want to do with it now.
I agree with you.
You get to create your world. You get to create your kids' world. If they choose not to listen, that's on them.
As painful as that is, I do agree. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What's up, Lessons Burn? What's going on? You got something for Atticus, or you just want to say something? Or what's up?
You know, I just want to give my flowers to y'all while y'all still here. I missed the show, but I just figured I'd tap in with y'all and yeah, Atticus, straight up, man. I wanted to salute to you because one thing,
band, salute,
straight up, man. And one thing I will say that I do appreciate and that I like about Atticus, whether he's right or wrong, I agree with him about most things. Some things I don't agree with him, but you know exactly where he stands. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people they kind of leave things up for interpretation, right? Like with Atticus, you know what you know what I'm saying? You know exactly what it is. And that's what I like
humbled.
about.
I'm humbled, brother. I really am.
you need to be humble. You need to be humble. That's the way you came on Fantastics at one stream of Fantastic. You said, fuck that, Fantastic. Stop being humble. Let me know exactly what it is.
What you got to talk about, a Fantastic show or something?
Yes, listen, I really do respect Mr. Fantastic. I followed him from the first time I heard him on O'Shea's. I was one of the first subscribers on his channel, and I never left this brother. He's honest. He really is a decent man, and I'll say it over.
Okay, you set the stage, but what'd you do? Okay, you set the stage, but what'd you do?
Well, no, Lessons Burn can go into it in more detail, but we're having a conversation.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't nothing adversarial or nothing.
Gotcha.
I forgot what we was talking about, but
you know, Lessons Burn on Fantastics, we go into a wide range of subjects, but it came to a point where people were trying to tell him to tone down, be humble,
right.
Don't say this or don't say that, or why are you being like this? Why are you being like that? And I said, fuck that shit.
Right.
Excuse me for swearing, LJ. I know it's your platform. Excuse me. I know Fantastic. I can say this, but I was just saying, stop that nonsense. If you know you are walking the righteous path, and that has nothing to do with religious. You don't have to be religious. Just if you know what you're saying is right, say it.
Right. Right.
I mean, I was raised in the Christian church, but I am not religious. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so one of the lessons that I retained from the Christian church was the teachings of, for example, Christ or John the Baptist or Solomon or David, for example. And whenever they put their foot down, knowing that they were they were in the right, even though it's not been proven yet. Put your foot down and stand on it. Do not let evil slide. What's the saying? Evil only prevails when good men do nothing. That's the only way evil wins. Stand your ground, state your mind.
Oh
If
yeah,
you're wrong, you're wrong.
you definitely got to read the book, Atticus. You're gonna have to read the SMD book, right? You're gonna,
I
they're
shall.
gonna
I
be like,
shall be
"Oh my god,
purchasing
the
it.
audio's amazing!" Oh my.
No, I'll be doing it. I'll be buying it. If you want the audio version, I can always do a demo for you. But
Okay,
but
okay.
I'm just saying if you know what you're saying is right in your heart. Now you may be proven wrong, and if you are proven wrong, have the humility to accept and say, look, at that moment in time I thought this, and it's been proven that it's the opposite way. Fine, I accept it, but I'm not going to run from what it is I said. But I do accept that I can be corrected. But if you have it in your mind, in your heart, that where you stand currently, facing whatever it is you are facing, stand your ground. Do not run. Face the fire.
Yep.
Look the
That's
devil in his eye.
yeah, that's like standing on principle. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Think about like probably like I said, I always bring this up about 2 years ago. Pretty much was whenever I started down this rabbit hole, and I was sort of a yes man. I didn't. I mean, nobody really likes people not to like them, but at the same time, um, are you wearing yourself down, and are you giving people reasons to get over on you? Are you giving people reasons to take advantage of you? But once
Lessons.
you collect your principles and now you build your square, you can tell people this is what I expect. This is what I won't accept. I will not tolerate. And if you don't state that clearly, someone could come back on the back end and say, well, you never said this, you never said that. And with me, it's like,
Yeah.
no, you knew exactly. You knew exactly what I said. I wouldn't accept, I wouldn't tolerate, but then you turn around and you do it. Don't come back to me asking for sympathy because you knew what it was.
Lessons, you just said something very pertinent because I don't look for people to like me, but you will respect my
Exactly.
principles and what I
Straight up.
stand on. I promise you that. Even at work, that you have these in groups,
Yeah, yeah.
etc. People talking with each other. There's this there's this group over here. They're really popular, etc. I don't care about any of that. My thing is this: you respect me for my competency, you'll respect me for my forthrightness, and you will respect me for what it is I stand on. You don't have to like me. Please, you do not have to like me. I free you from that. I undo your chains. Don't like
Well,
me.
well, especially when you're debt free and you have a job, they don't really they don't really understand that it's different. It's work is like when I worked one more year. When I was debt free, I was debt free for a year, and I worked my job one more year. It is totally different. You don't accept the bullshit. You don't even accept. You know how sometimes a manager will schedule a meeting for you or other people, and then the manager will show up late, but the majority of people just sit there and just accept it. I didn't even accept that no more. If I had a manager meeting and they were 5-10 minutes late, I would leave.
Right up. Yeah.
I like
They
that.
were
And
like,
yeah,
"Hey,
I like
LJ, where you at?" I said I was there at 10, and I
But
waited
you
till
weren't.
about 10:10, and you didn't show up, so I left. We're gonna reschedule it.
right, yeah.
I had work to
Like
do.
all right. Atticus, you brought up a good point. Yeah, it's talking about being at work and stuff. And LJ, I explained to you my situation a couple of days ago on here. And perfect example is earlier today, I think it was, they had one person doing a job that two or three people should be doing at the minimum. So they were getting behind, they were getting swamped. And then the manager came over there and pretty much told them to pick up the pace. And after that, they was in a shit mood the rest of the day. I'm sorry to curse, but they was
No,
in a
no,
bad
no.
mood. They was in a bad mood the
Lessons.
whole rest of the day. And
Have you ever walked out? Have you ever got up and walked out of a situation like that and never to return? Have you ever done
You're
that?
really low, Atticus.
Oh, can you hear me now, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Lessons. Just very quick question, not to cut you, but have you ever just got up and walked away from that situation and never to return? Have you ever done that?
I haven't necessarily left like right at that situation, but there has been times where I just, I'm thinking, I'm just like, I'm not putting up with this stuff, so I stopped going in. But
I've
but
actually left midday.
right,
Lessons.
right,
There've been
yeah,
situations where I've
that's
got
all I
up
was
and just
getting.
left.
I believe you. That's all I was getting to, where it's like, that's what I told him. I said, what are you mad for? I said, you're a good one. You better than me, because if I was in that situation, I would have stayed there for a little bit longer, and then I would have just not went hard. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have tried to keep up. I was like, it's obvious that I can't keep up, so I'm just gonna do this shit at a normal pace. I'm not gonna get mad until you get somebody who already helped me. So,
I agree.
but
I
that comes
agree.
out. Like I said, the manager, you can get mad at me, not like me all you want to. You're either gonna fire me or you're gonna get somebody over here to help me. Either
Well, they're
one.
mad because they don't think they have a choice. That's why they're mad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
that's why they're mad.
Because they got
LG,
a
say
car
that
payment.
again, please.
They
Say
gotta
that
make that
again.
car payment, man.
They're mad because they think they don't have a choice. Because I would have did just like Lessons Learned. If they would have said, "Hey, if I know there was three people needed to do this job, but they tell me to pick it up," I'd be like, "I'm gonna just keep going at the same pace I was going. You just get
Right.
mad."
I'm not gonna get mad. I'm just gonna hang out.
Hell yeah, I wouldn't do that. You ruin your whole rest of the day in your life because it just doesn't stop there. You're gonna bring that shit home.
You're
You're
gonna
gonna bring it
bring it
home to your
home. You're
wife or
gonna
your girlfriend. What's wrong, baby? Oh, I had a
right.
shitty day at work. And this you bring it right at home. No, sir, that stays right there. Mm-mm.
Yeah, and it also is a function of manifesting, right? So,
Yes.
you could be angry, get in a car accident or something, and you might not even correlate it to being mad at work. But
Right.
had you not been mad, you would have been manifesting that
Correct.
faulty energy out there. So,
Correct.
It builds
yeah,
up.
you right on with
It's
that.
cumulative.
Yeah.
It's like the calculator.
Yep. Good word
It's
for that. Good word.
It's like it's cumulative. This happens plus, this happens plus, this
Yeah.
happens plus, and then finally equals to whatever
And
Because
happened
then,
people,
to be.
when something
yeah,
goes bad, have you noticed that when something goes bad, they expect something else to go bad too? Like,
right.
oh, it just, but they don't really understand. It goes the opposite too. They don't really understand that that goes the same thing for good. If something's good and you keep
hmm
expecting more and more good to happen, it
Yes.
happens that way. That's exactly what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah, it's almost like you have to reverse engineer, because, like Atticus
Correct.
said, by the time you get to the equals, now you have to go through so many steps to actually get to that root of the problem that it becomes really, really rigorous, and people don't even want to do it. And that's one thing that bothers me about, people say, oh, if something bad happens, right? Somebody dies early or something like that, or you know what I mean? They're like, oh, they didn't deserve that. Well, I mean, did they really not deserve that? Because had that person put all their ducks in a row and they succeeded, nobody would say, oh, you didn't deserve to succeed. You know what I mean? It goes both ways. Just because it ended up negative, there was things that accumulated to you getting to that point.
Actually, lessons. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it to a different dimension. It's not about whether someone deserves or doesn't deserve something. Everything, life is random. You know this thing they call luck? Luck is another word for randomness. It's just human beings trying to rationalize it to make sense to us because we need to put things in boxes. So if something bad happens, if you perceive it as bad, guess what? It's random. It's not that you deserved it, lesson. Because guess what? Something so called bad may happen to me, or to LJ, or to International Minded. Does that mean that each and every single one of us deserved it? Or something good may happen on the other end of the spectrum. It's all random. It's what you do with the situation at hand. You can be the multiplier. You don't wait for something from the outside to be the multiplier. We're going back to the calculator. Okay? Things that happen are the numbers 1 to 9. including the zero. So if a 1 enters the calculator, that's something. If a 9 enters the calculator, that's something. If an 8 enters the calculator, that's something. We are the what's the correct term? International minded. I know there's the divisor, the multiplier. We're the function. That's
Yeah,
the term.
function.
We're the function. So it's up to you. Are you going to multiply it? Are you going to add it? Are you going to subtract it? Are you going to divide it? That's the choice we have as human beings. So any event that happens is just an event. It's random. You can't control it. Don't think of it as you deserved it or didn't deserve it. Look at it and say, okay, this is what it is. What do I do with it? The Romans used to call it amore fati, the love of fate. Whatever happens to you, it's up to you what you do with it. It's in your power. This is why I listen to LJ. It's a choice. It's always a choice. Never wait for something from the outside to come and save you. There's nothing like that. You're your own savior. You
I
are your
noticed with
own messiah.
I noticed with me lately is like anything negative, so-called negative happens in my life, there's always a lesson in it. And then but you got to be able to recognize the lesson, right? You got to be able to override the emotional attachment to whatever negative is happening. And usually 9 times out of 10 for me, it's always something that I learned from it. If I don't always look at everything in a negative way, there's always a positive way.
It's your mindset.
That's it.
It's your mindset. You're your own messiah.
I ain't gonna lie. I would have to respectfully disagree with Atticus, but you know, I feel where you're coming from with that because
yeah,
I'm not fighting you, bro.
Right,
Let's talk.
I know.
Let's talk. Let's talk.
Yeah, no.
This is why I love LJ's program. Let's talk.
Yeah, no doubt, no animosity. But once I place in a lot of my principles and the scriptures and the Most High, like I said, I'm not religious. I don't know the church or anything. I don't think that God is some benevolent being that's going to come down and swoop everyone who got baptized and things like that. But a lot of stuff that I've learned comes from there, and something that I kind of noticed with a lot of people who not necessarily like dismiss God or anything like that. Just whenever you acknowledge, well, not you, I'll say whenever I acknowledge that there was a creator and that I couldn't control necessarily everything, I can do everything I can to control what's around me. But I feel as though sometimes people find themselves trying to explain things that really aren't explainable, type of thing. You know what I mean? So with me, I don't try to explain everything, but I do the best that I can do in my ability. And I try to place my faith in that because I do agree with you where fate is ironic, basically, almost. You know what I mean? It's a fate and irony type of thing to where you can't control everything, but you can almost guide things to where, like LJ said, I kind of try to guide things to make it a positive. So something that even in my life that's a negative, I try to look for the lesson in it. Like, that's why I named my channel Lessons Burned, because a lot of people learn lessons by getting burned. And they say that's the best way to learn, but that may be true. But
I'm glad you explained that because I didn't understand your name. So thank you for explaining that.
Right. Because, it's just a little play on words like lesson learned.
Okay.
Lesson. I'll just change it to lesson burned. And, a lot of people learn the lessons by getting burned. But especially young cats, that's who I more or less try to instill the lessons into. And, exactly. Yeah. The younger kids can come here and learn these lessons before they get burned. So
now you have a very, very healthy mind. Sorry, international mind. Please proceed.
Yeah, I just wanted to add a little flavor and color there. Can you hear me okay?
Absolutely. You said you wanted to add a little rejoinder, please.
Yes. I think that, and this is something that I've noticed that is a generational gap. And it's not to what I want to do is add a little link between those two generations, because I understand perfectly what Atticus is trying to say. Um, for our generation, the earlier generations, we were focused much more on consequence. In other words, I did something, and this was the result of the thing that I did. And I've noticed with the younger generation, I've said this on earlier lives, that there is, and it's with right, they have a reason to feel the way they do. There's a lack of agency. They don't believe that what they do matters, or that it will change their outcomes in their lives. And that's something I'm really not okay with. And a matter of fact, I've been toying with this idea of doing a channel or Instagram or something, because I don't think it's addressed well enough. And this gets back to the thing that concerns me the most. And that is, there's a difference between talk and action. There's a difference between problem and solution. And I'm finding, particularly with the younger generations, there's a lot, they're really disenfranchised, and they're really upset, because there's a lot of grown folks talking a lot of smack, and it ain't helping them. They're still in the same situation. And they got people a generation or two ahead of them or above them telling them, just get over it, or buckle down, or pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Wow. And that shit for them isn't working. I'm sorry. And there is a big gap. There's a chasm there between what, let's say, a Generation X or older experience was when they went, like, for example, when a 50 or 6-year-old started working, they could make a reasonable wage. They had an opportunity. They could go out and have dinner with their friends and pay for the bill for everyone. It was different. There wasn't this anguish, this feeling of dread in life, and it is kind of and I feel that the prior generations have a duty, have a responsibility to the younger generations to give them a chance to feel better about the lives they have, and help them.
That's it.
And I find that I find that a lot of times they're like, well, yeah, just go to college, which we're finding out that this was the worst possible advice that was given by Gen Xers or older baby boom generations. The worst possible advice that could have been given to them. It has completely ruined their lives. And then they're just like, well, maybe we'll forgive it, maybe we won't. We don't want particularly baby boomers, they don't want anyone to cut into their Social Security payments, and they got millions of dollars.
Oh no.
You know what I'm saying?
So listen, the four of us need to have this conversation. The four of us need to have this conversation right now. LJ, Lessons Burn, International Minded. Kindly, let's have this conversation for the people. What International Minded said has me shaking. It's not an understatement. What's happened in the past, I'd say since the early 1970s, the world has changed, the economic system has changed, but most people don't know that it's changed. You understand? For example, Lessons Burn, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Late 20s.
Late 20s. I'm 34. So both of us are essentially, I believe, millennials. I don't think you're a Gen Z. You're a millennial, right? Like a young millennial. So you and I are the same generation. LJ, International Minded, I believe you are Gen X's, both of you, right?
That's right.
So you guys are not our uncles. You're not our fathers. You're our big brothers. Okay? So we're essentially proverbial siblings. Now, what happened is this. My mother and father, my father was born in 1948. My mother was born in 1953. They're boomers. The life they led is totally different to the life your generation led, and absolutely different to the life Lessons Burn and myself led. They lived in a time where there was a lot of economic stimulus. Immediately post-war time, there was a lot of stimulus going into the market. So essentially, LJ, to make it very simple for the people, for them, it was simply a matter of go to school, graduate, and you're guaranteed a job. I repeat, guaranteed a job.
Yep, and that job would pay six figures, the equivalent of six figures, to do a base menial job.
In your job. Thank you.
Yep,
International
adjusted
minded.
for inflation. Yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
oh my! You
A
said
factory
inflation.
worker, yeah, they made about $100,000 in today's
Oh,
money. A
Well, you
factory
could have a
worker.
LJ,
wife. Yeah, well, you could have a wife and kids, and the wife didn't have to work. Now, it's
LJ,
placing so
you
much
have
pressure because the wife has to work now. So,
LJ. You're attracting heavyweights. I want to say that right now. You are attracting heavyweights right here. He said adjusted for inflation. You know how many people don't say that, LJ? Heavyweights.
That's true. That's true.
Adjusted for inflation is heavyweights. Okay, I'm listening.
No, I just want to say this. Adjusted for
yeah, I mean,
inflation,
he's
you
not
could buy.
lying. I mean, a
You
lot of
could.
people don't put that time in to understand it, and then if they do,
They
kind of
don't.
hear it or throw it around, they see it on TV and they say, "Oh, well, it's inflation, inflation, inflation." They throw it around and they think that it's the price of goods going up, but it's not. It's the value of the dollar going down. It's just taking more dollars to buy
Yes.
to buy what you need to buy. But go ahead.
Well said. Well put. Well put. It's not the prices of commodities going up, it's the value of the currency going down. Now, watch this. Lessons learned. In 1960, 1970, a person in the United States could buy a house for essentially $10,000 or less. Correct me if I'm wrong. In the 60s.
Yep, that's about right.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm
Now,
not for sure, but
I
yeah,
did
that sounds
not. I
right.
did not know
Yeah,
that. But go ahead.
yeah,
I'm telling you,
that's
LJ,
about
you
right.
you have heavyweights here. Your message is going
I'm,
far
I'm,
and wide.
I'm
Well,
listening.
the price, like to put that in perspective of inflation, the house itself hasn't really gone up a whole lot in value. It's just the currency has decreased in value so much that it
Decreased.
takes more of it to
Exactly.
buy that same house.
Exactly. Remember, Nixon took the United States dollar off the gold standard in 1971. After that, because before that, just to put it in context,
And it was
as an
supposed to be
American,
temporary too. Let me throw that in. It's supposed to be temporary, just like
every
quantitative
government
easing. But
program, lessons learned, every government program is always introduced as temporary. Remember, they said 3 weeks to level the curve with this
it's
whole
transitory.
it's transitory, Mike.
They were making
But
up words and shit.
every, every American before 1971 could walk into any bank with a $20 note and say, I want to exchange this for an ounce of gold. You could do that, LJ. Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard. The deviation between the price of gold and the dollar, the price of the dollar, shot up. Now you need about, I think, $1,800 minimum to get an ounce of gold, depending on where you're buying it. But it just shot up from that.
I don't
Now,
know. Where is it
to
at
bring it
now?
into full circle,
I think it's down a little
it
bit. It's
must
starting
be,
on
I think it's
17.
18 plus.
Might be like high 16s now. It dropped a little bit. But it's around
You got to
17,
factor
I
you got to
believe.
factor in the premium of the dealer. The dealer
Yeah,
always
Yeah,
true,
puts a two
true. That is
percent
true.
plus.
yeah,
So
it's
buying that
closer to
physical, you
1,800.
buying it. Yeah, you buying it physical. Yeah, you paying a premium. So.
Yeah, 18.
Absolutely, sirs. Now, watch this. Just to bring it in full circle, I don't want to deviate anything. Now, you have to understand the boomers grew up in a time where what they worked for was actually what they earned, and they could spend it and get their money's worth. That's where that term comes from. Your money's worth. It doesn't come from our generation. It comes back from way back in my dad's generation. Now, here we are. Let's fast forward. Even you Gen Xers, to an extent, enjoy that period. The early Gen Xers, the mid and the late Gen Xers started feeling the pains. Now, the millennials, we were totally left behind. Totally left behind. Most millennials don't own a home, and I don't blame them. Most millennials may never own a home, and I do not blame them. I don't.
I
I
read.
can't sit there.
Can I jump
Bro,
in real
lessons
quick?
burned. Yes, please.
My bad. I read an article the other day that said 48% of renters fear that they will never be able to buy a home. That's pretty big. And
That's half the
I don't
population.
know if, yeah, I don't, right. And like I said, I don't place owning a home in significant value, but I don't look at it as something I fear. I look at it as something, if I want to do it, I'm gonna find a way to do it. So
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying the fact that our mothers and fathers could have a real chance at it, but we have our chances are shot. That's what I mean about the economy. What international minded was saying earlier, LJ, to bring it into context. And international minded, this is what I think you and I need to have a conversation before you start your show. I think you and I need to have more conversations because I'd really like to be a part of your show, even as an audience member, because you see it as it is. We were never given a fair shot. Lessons learned. We never had a friggin' chance. The only place I can own land is in Africa.
Yeah, it's
No,
actually worse than that. It's worse than that, Atticus, because instead of getting a home, they got student debt. So
my
it's actually
God.
worse. It's not like they didn't get a home, but they don't have student loan debt. That
yeah,
you know, you could work from there. But
it's compounded.
when you've
My
got
God.
a home's worth of student loan debt, you have 150, 200,
On your head.
$300,000 of student loan debt. Yeah,
No chance.
that's it's much worse. It's you're understating how bad it is, and this is the problem. No one is addressed, and definitely not in our government. But this is why I spend my time on savings minus debt,
Yes.
because the closest thing that these kids have to a solution, and let me tell you, there's a lot more that has to be done than just getting your debt under control. But it's the first step. You cannot do anything else until you've accomplished or overcome the debt situation. That's the
Your
reason
personal.
why whenever LJ goes on a live, I have to show up. It's like a duty to the generations that come after me, and my kids and my grandkids. I have a grandson now, so I have to do my part to help them get out of this mess. You follow what I'm saying?
I do.
And that's why I spend the time and energy. But I agree with you, Atticus, and we could probably work on something. But I don't really see, and this is probably why I've been on pause for so long. I don't see a way to help them until they've addressed the debt situation. And
That,
that's why
yes. Yes. This is why I always say I'm sticking with LJ. LJ teaches you the basics, the discipline. You cannot achieve anything big if you can't master the small. And the small is listen, before the group, there's the individual. If you cannot master yourself, your habits, what the things that you go out and do on a daily basis, you have no hope in this big bad world. No hope. You have to
Yeah,
control
and
yourself and understand the environment that you're in. Then, just maybe, you can insulate yourself to a certain degree from whatever it is that's going on outside you, the
yeah,
macro. Control the
yeah, no
micro.
doubt. Because you're not going to escape the macro, right? We're not going to escape what we're doing. It's incumbent upon us to take and bend whatever's around us to make it work for us. And to touch on the point of the disconnect, uh, exactly, you hit it right on the head. International, it's an accountability thing, right? Because how many older guys from the generation are just living their lives. They're not learning about anything. They're not imparting wisdom upon just raising their kids and get them out of their house at 18. We grew up hearing the same things, and we hear it more and more. All these kids today don't want to work. These kids well, I mean, that's a product of the generation before us. I hate to say it, but the thing about it is, can you really blame them? I mean, I know people. Let me just say this: I've made the amount of money in the past year. I've made the amount of money outside of my job to buy my parents' house, and it took them 20 years to pay that house off. So it's a little a form of guilt, but
Well
it's
done.
you can't blame
congratulations.
people.
Hey, let me tell you,
Well
that's no small
done.
Hey,
thing. Congratulations.
I appreciate
Thank
it,
you for that.
yeah, no doubt, and it comes with number one a certain amount of humility, right? Like you have to humble yourself. Like I learn from people that are younger than me, right? I learn from everyone. You can learn something from a bum on the street. even if you learn what not to do, right? So you have to be humble enough to take lessons in that weren't necessarily given to you, right? International Minded said, like going to college and things. Nothing against people that go to college, but the thing about it is, if you go to college and they didn't teach you what you paid to get taught, you don't have anyone to blame but yourself. Because who said that everything you need to know will be given to you, right? Like you have to put that work in for yourself, even if it's just a little bit here, a little bit there. But that's something that I learned immersing myself into something for a while. Pretty much all last year, I immersed myself in learning these economics and learning the plumbing, learning the things that Wall Street traders know, but they won't tell you type of stuff. Learning what real estate agents know, but they won't tell you. Now, as soon as I learned it, did I get on YouTube and start yelling and screaming? No. I'm just now finding my way onto YouTube because now I bring something substantive. You see what I'm saying? I put the time in. I applied what worked. I now know that it works. That's 2 whole years. I learned for 1 year, applied what I knew for that next year, and now I'll just build. I can build. So uh, again, Atticus touched on this before. You have to create your own destiny, man. Nobody's gonna give you anything.
Nobody. Do not sit around expecting things to come to you. Don't do that. You're not owed anything, irrespective of what happened or may not have happened in the past. And I'm saying this as someone from the continent of Africa. And I'm saying this with the utmost respect. Okay, for those listening, you know what I mean. I'm saying this with the utmost respect. I come from East Africa. Okay?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Atticus.
It is what it is. You're alive, you're breathing, you're kicking. That's all you need. I promise you, that's all you need. Go out there and get yours.
That's man. I appreciate you sharing that with me, man. Because I'm soaking all this knowledge up too, man. It's just adding to. We're adding pieces to each other's puzzles, and it just grows. That's crazy.
Thank you, LJ. LJ, thank you so much for hosting this program.
Yeah, man. I
Many
appreciate
more
it.
programs, not just this particular one, but I'm talking about SMD.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's necessary.
Oh
It
yeah.
really
SMD is
is.
gonna be here forever. This is not going anywhere, man.
And I already told LJ it's just a matter of time before this
Yeah.
whole. And the thing about it is, LJ, even if your channel doesn't get a huge boom, if it's either one or two things gonna happen. Either your
It
channel
shall.
and your
It
brand is
shall.
gonna get a huge boom, or there's gonna be someone who, you know what I mean, who has tuned in or has an offshoot of this, and they're gonna be teaching the same principles.
Correct.
And because it's a thing, a lot of people, we talk about this economic situation and the macro. I hear a lot about people don't know what's going on. I hear a lot about people don't care what's going on. I look at it a different way. I look at it as people don't know that they don't care, right?
Correct.
Or
Correct.
people,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, people don't know that they care. People don't know that they care. Like you care that you're spending more money every day on
Right.
the things that you've been using, but you don't know that you care yet. And when
Right.
that time
I like
comes,
the way you put that.
they'll be
Yeah.
right here.
LJ, lessons band. What you just said. I want to put it in another way to LJ, relating to what I was saying earlier. Lessons band. Please listen to this, brother.
I'm with you.
LJ,
Mm-hmm.
remember when I said say the former, not the latter?
Right. Right.
I'm going to name drop right now, real quick. It's not negative. Kevin Samuels.
Mm-hmm.
He's been saying things that many, many, many other people have been saying over the ages. Do you know what made him blow up?
What?
The former. He said what people were saying, don't say online.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Don't say this. He simply said it in that way.
Right.
Same message.
You're right.
LJ, I know. I know. I don't believe. I don't do belief.
Okay.
I know. Do the former, and we're changing the world. You,
I'm
not
listening.
we, not we, not we. I'm sorry. I'm an audience member. You are changing this world.
Mhm.
Do the former. Do not listen to those people who tell you to censor or to tame or to tame and chain. Why do you think they sound the same?
Tame and chain. Okay. I'm listening. I'm listening.
Whatever is on your, whatever you feel in your gut, your heart, say it.
Mm-hmm.
The world is missing that right now.
That's
People
true.
yearn for
That's
it.
true.
People
That's
crave
true.
for it. People fight for it. It's too much fakeness.
Hey, Atticus,
Say
can I
it.
ask you a question?
Yes, please.
What does the word nice mean over in Africa?
Nice. My part of the world, or in general.
Yes. Yeah, in your part of the world.
Well, nice is, how do I put it? Because there's so many ways I can think of it. Because I can think of
Well,
it in my,
I'll put it to you like this. Is
yes,
it better
please.
to be nice or kind?
Kind, absolutely kind,
Right. Okay.
absolutely
That's all I was
kind,
getting to.
absolutely.
And I'm pretty sure LJ understands this, but you know, I think the first time I came over to LJ's channel, I was in the chat and I was um because I'm big on etymology, right? I care more about where the words originated and came from more than
Mm.
necessarily what they mean because the
Oh, you
dictionary
said it.
gets
You
updated
said it.
every so often. But I mean, if you look at the etymology of the word nice, it's village fool, naive, right?
Agreeable, agreeable.
Right. Agreeable.
Amina
Yes,
None in the
agreeable.
chat. You said it. Nice
Yep.
means agreeable. Well
Right.
said.
Right.
Mm.
So, that's
Mm.
pretty much what you're saying to LJ. I'm pretty sure LJ knows it, but this is just a little bit of confirmation that be nice, not kind. Be kind, not nice.
Not
Right.
Mm.
nice.
So
Not like that. I'm learning that. Hey, I'm
and
learning.
the reason I asked Atticus that is because I actually
Well
learned
said.
that from a cat from Africa. I forgot where he lives in Central Africa, and they speak French, and I'm pretty sure in French is
Congo.
where.
That's the Congo.
Right. So yeah, that's where he's from, and that dude is over here. Man, this dude is making so much money right now, but he applied himself. Same thing like you. I don't use where I came from as an excuse. I came from there so I could build something new. Why go back and use that as a crutch for
I'm smiling
something
right
that
now.
I need here?
Gentlemen,
Mm.
I am smiling right now. I'm very
Mm.
happy. I'm very, very happy that Lessons Burned said that. Lessons Burned. Anywhere I see you, I salute you, bro. I promise you that.
I
Same,
can't hear
brother.
you. What'd you
Anywhere
say?
I see you. Anywhere I see Lessons Burned, I salute
Oh,
him.
okay.
I'm smiling right now. I wish you could see I'm smiling because this reminds me of home. Like home, home, home.
Mm.
LJ, thank you. I just want to
Yeah.
say
That's a
thank you.
massive compliment. Let me tell you, LJ, from the person that's from the continent to say that
Uh-huh.
that feels like home, you don't understand. That is a level of a compliment you can't imagine.
Really?
International, I'm with
Yeah.
you too.
Well, we're
Don't you
building a
dare go
culture
to
here. Honestly, this is
Wow.
whether people recognize it consciously or not. This is a culture. You
Wow.
speak on things like discipline, accountability, principles. That's true culture.
Hmm.
Not what music you play.
Right.
Not what you like to do. Those are customs. People get customs and culture mixed up. Customs
Mhm.
are a manifestation of the culture. So we
a
establish that culture,
convention.
then
Well said.
right, you
Mhm.
establish the culture, and then good comes from it. Fruitful things multiply, and that's how you gain the success. But it starts with that culture.
Mm.
Well
All
said,
right, you
sir.
guys, we got to wrap this up. I'm at the 3 hour mark, man. Hey, just let you guys know I've learned a lot. Lessons Berm, of course, international minded, and Atticus, man.
Thank you, LJ. Talk to you
Hey,
Salute
later.
to you, brother.
Thank
thank
you,
you guys.
LJ. International, salute. Lessons band, salute. International, please put your
Salute.
Instagram in the.
I
Did
think I
you want
did
me to?
already. It's in the
Did
chat
you?
already.
Okay, is it the
Oh
first,
yeah, it's in the
second, or third?
go to the private chat, Atticus. Click on the
I
private chat.
have. Is it the
Okay.
first, second, or third?
Let me go in the chat. Let's see.
Please. Sorry, LJ. Just very
No problem.
quickly.
The first and the second.
So you have two?
Yeah. So it's
I'll add
the
you
first.
both. I'll add both.
Yeah.
I'll add both.
All right. Cool.
Lessons Burn. Do you have one? LJ, I've got you already. Come on.
Yes.
No, I'll
Lessons
just
Burn.
have my channel.
Okay. Whenever you choose to, we'll give you hours.
Post your
All right.
Lessons Burn. Can you post your channel in the private chat so I can post it out here for people to find it?
I'll try to. I know every time I leave the StreamYard, it closes me out, but I can do that. And
you on your phone or something?
I'll just give my closing words, and then I'll
go
post
ahead.
it in here.
I'll look for
right
you.
after,
Just a second. I'll look for you right now. Just a second.
Okay. Yeah, it's just Lessons Learned. It's the same as my my name.
Just a second.
But
all right, you guys can go ahead and start closing out in order.
Hey, last words for you, LJ. Hey, don't be nice. Be kind.
Have you ever
Right, man,
have you ever noticed me to be nice? Have you ever noticed that?
No. But to Atticus's point about
right. No, I get it.
The latter, but yeah,
I get what you guys say. I'm listening.
Alrighty, man. I appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
Peace.
All right,
bro.
Salute, bro.
His Lessons Learned website. There you go. Let's just post the link in there.
I appreciate that, LJ. Yeah, I'm gonna start posting more. I gotta upgrade my equipment and my storage and things like that. But
yeah, you should really start doing that, man. I think you got a lot to offer, man. You really do.
Hey,
I was just listening to all three of you guys talk, and I'm like, man, I'm just absorbing right now. So
right on. I appreciate that, man. But yeah, y'all go check out that channel, man. Learn the lessons before you get burned. All right, you dig? I'm out.
I'm following you. Thank you.
Any closing words, Atticus? Appreciate it, Lesson.
Yes, sir. LJ, thank you very much for hosting this program. It's necessary. It's needed. Peace to the whole SMD family, every single one of you.
Remember, when you get your shirt, man, you got to reach out to me.
Yes.
I'm waiting to hear it. I'm waiting.
Look, I'm taking the full picture, me, my face, and the faces of the individuals out there.
Okay.
You know,
on
my Instagram, everybody can see my face, so I don't hide from anyone.
Okay.
I really want to say thank you to you, LJ. Don't stop, don't quit, and remember, do the former, not the latter.
Okay, I'm listening. Listening. All right, thank you. Man, this show turned out to be better than I thought, man. We got got the big boys coming on. Now, you guys see me as the host. I'm not claiming I know everything. I'm still new. All right. So I'm still absorbing. I always keep my mind open to listen to everything, because I notice when I'm not always the right directions, but the people that understand my direction are listening, and they know. So thank you, everybody, man. This is three wonderful hours, man. What time is 6:50 here in South Carolina? Atticus got up early in the UK. Atticus is going to be having the first SMD shirt in the United Kingdom, the very first one that goes down in the books. Shout out to Sal's. Need to come back to my office, but I require them to have V-Shot. See, Sal's is he's the hardcore SMD family member. Him and Gabriel, I think they tag team, right? They tag team slaves. But you guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Much appreciated. Until next time. All right, later.